All right, we are here with another episode of the Dirty Controller Boys podcast, episode 39, I think.
39. All right.
Yeah, I think. I could be wrong.
I believe in your understanding of numbers.
I'm not good with numbers, but yeah. We'll go with that. How you been?
Been all right.
That's good.
Yeah.
What did you do with your week?
Yep. Ted Lasso. Watched that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there were 2 episodes I was missing. Just watched up to the episode before the season finale. Season finale comes out Wednesday. I looked up when the new seasons are coming out, and it happens to be that this is the end.
Oh,
They're
really?
only doing 3 seasons, yeah. And what really sucks about that is it's just like is such a feel good story that I just really don't want to let go of. So I was like, oh man, this is gonna suck really bad. uh so the only thing I'm hoping for once this is done is that the people that created this will hopefully work on things again that are similar, because the story is so fucking good in my opinion.
Okay, that's fair. Anything
uh
else you watched?
yeah, I what was the other thing? Man, what is the show? I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember what the show's called.
It's okay.
Oh, Rick and Morty. Jesus Christ.
Damn, son, you still watching? You still watching Rick and Morty?
God, that show's so good, man.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
pretty. It's pretty good.
the new season. So I don't have cable, so I have to wait till these things come out on the streaming services. But I do
Mm.
have HBO and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
um, it finally dropped on HBO a little bit ago. And so far so good.
Mm.
I know that the guy just got fired. Well, I think he was partially a creator, partially the guy that did a lot of voices.
Oh, Justin Roiland.
I have no idea. I
Yeah,
didn't really.
we talked about Justin Roiland, about the assaults, the
Yeah,
alleged assaults. Yeah.
yeah. So uh, I finished it. I rewatched it, um, or started rewatching it, and yeah, I don't know. Just watching it again makes me go and think about how good it is, and just hoping that it doesn't end up getting canceled. Because it, you know, I would hope that it doesn't have an end, kind of what's it called, Futurama.
Which, hilariously enough, that's coming back.
Yeah, Futurama is the way the show is now, with the revivals that it's had. It's kind of built into its lore at this point as
Mm.
oh, we can just leave it off the shelf for 4 years and bring it back, and people are like, oh, that's Futurama, that's what it is now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what I've been hearing is that the last time it ended, it was it felt kind of definitive, and then the revival happening again. So,
Yeah.
because
So with this being the latest revival, that's where now it actually feels like this is what Futurama is. So it feels like, okay, we'll cancel it in a season or two,
yeah,
and we'll just do it again in 3 years.
yeah, because wasn't that the weird thing that happened? Because Futurama got canceled technically,
Mhm.
and then it came back for that revival, and then it finished, and now it's coming back for another revival.
Yeah, it's already had 2 revivals, I believe, and this is
Okay.
gonna be the third.
Okay. So yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I mean,
Um,
I mean, I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Futurama. I do like some of the episodes.
bro, I
The fucking
love
the
I
snooze.
probably could have quoted it a long time ago.
Yeah, the snooze shit is still one of the funniest fucking things in the world.
Yeah.
Because it's so stupid.
Yay! When they all cheer for
Yeah,
dying. For
yeah. Death by snoo. Everybody's like, yeah.
I love Zap Brannigan, man.
Oh my god, Zap Brannigan is it's yeah. There's good characters in that fucking show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Zoidberg is
also misogynistic, but he's still one of the best characters. He's also,
yeah.
I think that's just it. He's misogynistic. I don't think he's really racist or anything.
He's supposed to be like a Captain Kirk, but driven up to a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's good. I don't know. I'll probably watch some episodes of Futurama. Everybody talks about that one episode with Fry's dog. I forget which one that is.
Yeah, that's the one where everyone was like crying.
Yeah, because it's a very emotional episode and nobody was expecting that.
No,
That and that and like when Fry's trying to get the what is it, this 8-leaf clover, 6-leaf clover?
that was a big one.
Yeah.
When he's trying to, this might be the same episode, but I don't think it is. When he's trying to court Leela, and he does the he plays the hologram phonogram. It's a like a flute or a what is it's like a saxophone, but it creates images when you play it. And that was like a really big, like deep one. There was
Yeah.
a few ones with Fly and Leela where like uh they talk a lot more about like what love is and how people should be treated and stuff. So like really like it, Futurama reminds me of the cartoon version of what Scrubs was.
Scrubs?
Yeah, because Scrubs always taught a lesson and it was a comedy.
I guess,
And
yeah.
it's kind of like what it seemed like a lot of what Futurama did was like it's very funny. Here's a lesson.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Kind of have to have somewhat of a takeaway in some comedy shows. And not
I
the
mean, a lot of things got to do it, but I feel like those two were kind of like, I mean, to me at least, right? Like those are the ones I saw that kind of resonated. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I feel like I should probably go back and rewatch Futurama.
also
'Cause
Scrubs, if you haven't fully watched that.
I watched episodes of Scrubs. I never saw like the whole thing, but I've seen like a couple episodes of Scrubs. The janitor character is always like pretty funny.
People
Uh,
like the fine, whatever. Everyone else sucks, whatever. Bye.
yeah. I mean, the only comparison of like janitor characters was fucking Gordy from Ned's Declassified.
Yeah, yeah. He was a good one too.
Yeah, I really like Gordy. And funny enough, that's the guy who plays Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, buddy. We'll
Yeah.
name him Philip.
Yeah. Yeah, Futurama is a weird one because like I got into that rather than The Simpsons. And to be fair, like The Simpsons has like some good jokes, but like I never really got into The Simpsons like some people did.
A lot of people I talk to that enjoy The Simpsons don't enjoy Futurama,
Okay.
and it's insane to me because I'm like, oh, like, and yeah, I've been into Futurama way more than Simpsons, but when I do watch The Simpsons, I see the comedy, and I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like it's good. But The Simpsons and Family Guy have like pretty similar like comedy to me, where it's like, like it's okay, but it's not like the top of the barrel. It's like kind of more like mid bottom.
Yeah. It's funny enough because like even like talking about like Family Guy, it's like I don't think Seth MacFarlane's on that anymore. Like I think he just does voices, but like he's not part of the writing team or anything like that. Like I think.
Oh no, when you start making that much money, man, you're probably doing other things.
So have you ever watched the Orville?
Say again.
The Orville. Orville? Do you know what this is or no?
I still don't know what you're talking about.
So Seth MacFarlane came out with a Star Trek-esque comedy series called The Orville.
No, I haven't seen this.
It's really good.
Really?
Yeah. It's genuinely like really, really funny. Because I watched like I think the first 2 seasons. I don't know how many seasons they did because I don't think the show was that popular. But it's genuinely like really funny. Like I didn't really get into Star Trek that much. I got into like a couple of episodes of the original series. And they're goofy, but they're pretty interesting because it's like there's always like a moral dilemma in like a lot of those old Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
So the Orville does that as well, where like even though it is a comedy show, there are legit moments where it has like a morality like situation that the crew has to figure out. And like it is interesting. And it's like, oh wow. So this was funny because like this show came out during the same time as the new Star Trek show. And if you know anything about like what's going on with that, a lot of Star Trek heads do not like the new Star Trek shit because essentially they feel like the J.J. Abrams Star Trek stuff essentially ruined Star Trek because anything Star Trek now is like action packed and like there's got to be like an overarching story and stuff like that, and that wasn't Star Trek back in the day. It was like Star Trek was just like, all right, each episode is going to be a different problem, and then we're going to have to solve it.
Right, right.
So Orville basically takes that concept and like does comedy bits with it, but also at the end of the episode they try to find a solution, which is the most interesting thing about that show. Yeah. So I highly recommend you watch like maybe a couple episodes of the Orville because it is pretty good.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
Okay.
I'll have to see what it's on. I don't know what it's on.
Oh yeah, we'll figure it out.
You're like Hulu. It's fine, man. Don't worry.
I think it was on fucking the same network as as Star Trek, or was it on Fox? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember, but but I do remember it came out at the same time as like Star Trek Discovery, the new Star Trek, and like people were making the biggest comparison between those two of like how the fuck did Seth MacFarlane create a Star Trek show while the actual Star Trek like series couldn't make a Star Trek show? It was like the wildest shit.
Yeah.
So
I mean, sometimes it just takes a funny guy to see all the sad stuff.
and I think in general, I think Seth MacFarlane is a big fan of Star Trek. So that's
yeah.
why he was able to do it.
Yeah, he talks a lot about sci-fi stuff. In a lot of his interviews and stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean he's a big fan of like pop culture nerdy shit to be fair. But
yeah.
Anything else you watched?
Oh fuck, Jennifer's Body.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It came out, people loved it. I knew it was like super sexual, and that was probably like the real like grab of it.
Yeah.
I
remember seeing that movie in the theaters when I was in fucking middle school.
Yeah, I never watched it.
You know what made it worse? I went with a bunch of friends, but I asked my parents to drop me off. But my dad was insistent on like going to see the movie because like he hasn't seen a movie in a theater in a while, so like he was just like, oh, we'll see it with you. So my parents went to go sit somewhere else, and like I was with my friends, so I was just like, I'm like enjoying the theater experience with them, and then like the sexual shit started happening, and I'm like, oh, this is really dumb. But then like the back of my brain was just like, oh, my parents are in the same room as I am watching this shit. I was just like, I don't know what their feelings on this is. But yeah, Jennifer's Body is like a weird fucking movie. I don't think I haven't watched it since because like I still remember a lot of like the key plot points of that movie, which is wild to think because it wasn't necessarily like a good movie. It was it's okay.
Oh, that's a stretch.
What, that it's okay?
Yeah. Oh, not the
You thought it was terrible?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. So just to like kind of go over it a little bit, like well, like first of all, like never watched it because again, like I knew it was like that really dumb, like
it's very trashy.
Kind of like what they did in the 80s where it was like sex and killing and they were like, "Oh, this is such a great idea."
No, you know what it feels like? It feels like an early 2000s movie. Cuz it tries to be edgy in a lot of ways.
Be edgy. It doesn't really feel like it did. It kind of just, it's really just felt really like overly sexualized with shitty killing.
2000s, early 2000s, baby.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have what's it called? But again, like that's kind of pulling still from like the 80s shit or the 70s, 80s.
Yeah, because like fucking Friday the 13th made the whole teenagers having sex and getting killed shit.
Well, no, not even that. It's like, what the fuck is that goddamn shit with
Freddy Krueger?
Oh, the fucking Hicks and the fucking woods and shit and
Chainsaw Massacre? Or
no.
you mean Hills Have Eyes?
No, again, I'll have to like look
or
into it.
Wrong Turn.
No. It's an old ass movie that I again just can't think of this fucking specific name of it. Anyways, yeah, it's just like again all that dumb stuff. I knew I wouldn't care about it back then, so I just never saw it. I'm sure Ninja Turtles something came out at the same time, and I was like, oh, that's better. So, anyways, I was just looking through stuff on HBO, and literally, like, there's fucking nothing to watch. Just like everything else, everything's trash. I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm just looking for something new. So I was like, all right, this has, what's her name?
Megan Fox
Yeah,
and Amanda Seyfried.
I don't know her, but I know Megan Fox,
She was
and I was
in
like,
she was in Mean Girls.
okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. The
Okay.
blonde hair chick.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Just because like I know a lot of people like cared about it and stuff, and immediately I was like disappointed as fuck. Right when the band was like, "Oh yeah, that's the one. She's definitely a virgin." I was like, "Fuck you guys."
Yeah.
And then the killings, which was also fucking terrible. Overall, just like, man, I don't know how much money they put into it, but hopefully it wasn't a lot.
I don't remember how that movie did domestically. I don't think it was particularly a hit, but a lot of people do remember it because it was a trashy movie. And like I said, for me, I thought it was okay because at the time I was just like, it's very trash, and I think the movie knows that it's trash. Um, but yeah, it's like it's not really anything to say that this is a fucking masterpiece of trashy movies because it's like it knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very weird movie. I don't think I have any point of like revisiting it at any point in my time of living.
And like my whole point is just like I don't think anyone should go out of their way to watch it. I don't think it's worth it. It's not worth the buy. It's not worth the rent. It's you know,
Yeah.
uh, it's not even worth your time. I would go and like put your time into something else, like building a shed
Yeah, Building a Shed is pretty
or something, whatever.
good.
Um, I started Parasite. I haven't finished it. I again like just another thing that people were always like watch, watch, watch. I'm like,
Oh, the Bong Joon-ho movie?
sure. I don't know.
The Korean movie?
Yes, I think
Okay.
so. The
Okay.
one that like everyone watched and went shit crazy for like a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies.
Is it good? Okay. Uh,
I don't want to hype you up because that's also the thing is that like I don't like hyping people up for movies because like it will exceed their expectations. And
yeah, I had a few friends say that they didn't really enjoy it, but they're just not into that type of stuff.
yeah, because it's funny because I recommended it to my cousin and my cousin didn't like the movie.
Yeah.
But I like the movie because like it is dark. If you watch any other Bong Joon-ho movies, like they are pretty dark and like sometimes they kind of leave in a very unsatisfactory way.
I've seen a lot of Ho movies, but they're on like Pornhub.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry,
like that.
I just was like, it's right there. Why not?
Yeah, like that.
You know what? Pot over.
Podcast over. Podcast canceled actually. No, because like I saw this movie and I was so enamored with it that I bought the fucking Criterion collection of that movie. I pre-ordered it because I was like, I need to have it in a good quality. Which reminds me, I probably should watch it with the commentary track. That's also my thing is that like I feel like rewatching movies but with the commentary track just to, hear either directors or the actors talk about it because there's one that I completely forgot about was Tropic Thunder's commentary track because apparently Robert Downey Jr. does not he still is fucking Kirk Lazarus in that fucking commentary track. Like, you know how in that movie he was the Australian guy playing the black guy?
Mhm.
He does not
He
drop
plays
character.
Chang.
Yeah, he does not drop the character.
That's funny.
So, and it's hilarious because in the movie he talks about that being like, I don't drop character until after the DVD commentary, and like
That's so good.
that actually happens. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta find my copy of Tropic Thunder and watch that with the commentary track.
Thank you for saying that because that's a good idea.
Okay. But yeah, it's like there are movies out there that like I actually do want to go back and revisit and listen to the commentary track because I am a crazy person and I know a lot of people don't do that, but I want to do that.
No, that's a good idea. It also gives more insight on like what it is and like how they felt and stuff.
Yeah, and like the ideas behind each shot and like why they went with this direction of like, oh, why is it shot like this? Or like, why did they do this? Or what was the choice behind that? Yeah, it's just always interesting to hear the process of making the movie. But it,
Um,
in the sense of Parasite, like Parasite is such an interesting movie because you don't know. Originally, when I saw this, I knew nothing about it. I kept hearing critical praise about it and just like, oh, it is one of the movies you have to see.
do you like the
So
read in this?
yeah, if it's Korean, yeah, there's
They don't
no
speak English.
no. Funny enough, there are moments where like they say English stuff because there's a whole thing that talks about one of the characters being
Is
an
it when they
English
get the
teacher.
parasite in them and the parasite's like, I'm American?
Yeah, I think the real thing at the end is like, who truly is the parasite?
Oh, we are the parasite, right? Just leeching off mothers.
Mother.
Anyway, uh,
Um,
good.
I would say watch the movie. Um, and yeah, that's the thing is that like this movie was critically praised. I think Bong. This was also the wild part was like I remember the Oscars happening and like people were the movie won like a bunch of awards, and the thing that made me like laugh was seeing people like being contrarian of like this movie shouldn't have won. Like
Mm.
I think the biggest video from that whole upset, quote unquote upset, was this guy being like, this movie shouldn't have won. There was a more important culturally important movie like the Joker because it came out during the same time as Joker. So he was like pointing off lists of like why like how important Joker was culturally, and Parasite made the exact same like plot point like issues that Joker talked about. It was just goofy.
It's a weird one because like I don't know how to like judge that shit. I
Mhm.
like, that was good.
Yeah,
Maybe
like
it should have
Joker.
won.
Yeah.
I don't know if it should have won over the parasite, but
Well, I would say just watch Parasite. Just watch
yeah,
it. Let me know what you
I
think of it.
I will. I might have to do it in two parts if I have to read. To be real.
Yeah,
Um,
I should probably rewatch it.
um, I rewatched Gone Girl, which is great.
Ooh, yeah, it's a good movie.
Like, I can't remember if you recommended this a long time ago, but call it a year or two ago, I
Hmm.
actually watched it, or maybe less or more, whatever. And I just really, 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 really thought it was like a great idea for like the way like kidnapping slash murder could happen. I can't remember exactly why. This is why I'm gonna rewatch it.
It's such a
Um,
it's such a devious movie because it's like I think it's based off a book, but yeah, the whole plot of it is just really interesting.
yeah, I'm also never really like interested in Ben Affleck stuff, but like, man, I was like fucking loving him in this shit, man.
Given the right role, Ben Affleck is a good actor.
Yeah, definitely not Batman or Daredevil, but for sure.
No, like
It's funny because I think he would have done a great Batman, but I think the person to direct him was the wrong person.
Zack Snyder.
Slash the writing, yeah. The Snyder everything was terrible. I hate it. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people liked it or whatever. My brother being one of them. He's like, "You don't like this stuff?" I'm like, "No. Why would I? What do you mean?"
Why has it go dark? Why can't it be fun? And then I don't know. It's weird. I just feel bad for him because like I think after Batman v Superman, he was just done, but like he was still kind of obligated to make more movies or be in more movies. Um, but yeah, like I said, like Ben Affleck, given the right roles, he is able to be a good actor. Obviously. Same thing with Casey Affleck. Casey Affleck, nobody really talks about him, but he's a really good actor as well. If you,
Yeah.
I would
Looking
recommend
at it.
in Gone Girl. No,
Okay.
uh,
I
but
didn't.
I, but I mean he is an Affleck, so
Yeah.
but I would recommend watching Manchester by the Sea. I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Go ahead and see if it's on here real quick. Manchester.
Yeah, Manchester by the Sea. I think it's on Prime Video.
Yeah. I'm just doing it now because I figured I might as well. Something I wanted to ask you about. Did you ever watch Fury?
The Tank movie? Yes.
Uh, I talked about it a while ago, but so good. I just love what's his name. Fuck man, you would think I would just know his name off the bat. Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
God man, like
I
the
haven't.
amount of hate he's had for so long, I'm just like, why? Like the even Stevens kid is great, bro.
That's the thing is that, like I said, Shia LaBeouf, given the right role, is able to do a good job, but he hasn't really had a time to shine. Because I think his career was ruined by the Michael Bay movies, and that's the unfortunate thing because like those movies do super well worldwide, the Transformer movies, but they essentially like killed his career.
I thought he was good in it. I don't understand why that would have any effect on him.
No, he's fucking like he hates those movies.
Yeah, I still like him in it.
I mean, sure, I guess. Do what you wish. But I'm saying, huh?
Sorry, I was just gonna say. I think one of my favorite movies by him was, or not by him, but like what he was in. The guy next door that was evil.
Suburbia. No,
Yeah.
Disturbia, I think it's called.
Suburbia.
Yeah. Some shit like that, yeah.
Yeah,
That movie was actually okay. Yeah. That movie was actually pretty good.
Fucking love that movie, dude.
But yeah, like even from Shia LaBeouf, like interviews with him, he fucking hates Transformer movies. But that's what made him like
A household name for sure.
yeah, and a shit ton of money as well. Because I think obviously there's that movie, Honey Boy, right? I think you've seen it.
Yes.
Yeah, I have yet
God.
to. I have yet to watch it. I have yet to watch it.
I'll break your legs if you don't watch it by next week.
I'm gonna try to watch more movies because like I haven't really watched any movies or anything this week.
I'm just gonna text you over and over again so you watch it.
I'll keep texting you. Watch Parasite.
You watch Peanut Butter Falcon?
No, I hear that's pretty good too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stuff directed by him. Like he's able to. He has talent, but it's just like there was a whole thing with the fucking like nobody knows who I am shit, and like he feels like his career was destroyed, and it's like no, dude, like you have the ability to have a career, like use it.
You also have the ability to reinvent yourself always.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that you know it's shitty as that point of your life was for having that like you know Michael Bay action movie only career. You got to reinvent yourself or like adapt, do something different, make people realize that you're not that guy. I know it's easy for me to say that because like I'm not in his shoes, but it's like but you are a well-known actor and you've already proved the fact that you can act, so it's like use it, as Blade would say.
And I think with the Peanut Butter Falcon and Honey Boy, I think he is doing just that, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, he's able to write and direct and like do his own thing, and good for him. But yeah, if he wants to continue to do acting, use it. Because like there's a video of him watching, because he did a whole thing where he rented out a theater and played all the Transformer movies as like a whole marathon, basically. And it's just him in the theater with a camera pointing at his face and just him reliving throughout the whole thing. I mean, he doesn't say anything. You just see on his face of like what he's watching. And like, I think it was probably the third Transformer movie where he fucking hated it. And it was just like, you see his face just like, oh my God, like just remembering things from the production. So yeah, that's also another movie I've been meaning to watch is Fury.
Oh, you didn't watch Fury? Or
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
You like Shia LaBeouf smooch?
Yeah. Brad Pitt was so good in it too.
Yeah.
Again, another guy that I never really thought I would care about as far as acting, but after seeing him in that and the zombie movie, yeah, I just really
John Barenthal.
No. Well, I mean, you already know I love John Barenthal. Like that's never gonna go away.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck, who the fuck was I just talking about? Fight Club guy, whatever.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, yeah. Yeah, I just really like Brad Pitt now. I'll probably go through and watch a bunch of his stuff. I remember I saw like Mr. and Mrs. Smith at some point. That was good.
Yeah.
But those are the movies I watched. Um, I tried the new Destiny DLC. Well, not DLC, but season. Uh, it's pretty trash. Which I'm shocked.
Mm-hmm.
What else? They put a new dungeon out. I beat it with a friend in like 2 hours. Pretty bad. I don't know. Just overall boring.
Yeah.
Sucks, man. I don't expect them to change anything. League of Legends. That's it. Those two things.
Why is this season of Destiny bad? Just boring? That's it?
So what they tried to do, I mean, they didn't try, they did, but you're back on this planet called Titan.
Mhm.
It isn't actually in the game, the planet itself, but you go there for the story slash the events you're doing.
Mhm.
So you can't actually explore it like offhand if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You have to actually be doing a mission or something to be on Titan. So it doesn't like really give you any room to go explore it and run around and do things that you want to there. So it like takes away from it. The things that make it bad are they force you to go underwater, which like every other old ass video game, you have to find a way to breathe underwater, which technically isn't what the problem is. It's actually your suit has an integrity level and it needs pressure released, and the way you release pressure is to run into bubbles.
Okay.
So the sea is made of methane. The air bubbles release the pressure of
So
methane somehow.
there's a gimmick. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So this is my biggest problem. The way you go into the level when you're going into the water is a very generic scene where your ship flies over an ocean,
Mhm.
is what it looks like, and then you just hear a splash. There's no visual. It's just the ship flying over the water, and you just hear a splash, and then you're black screen into the thing, and I'm like, no, no, this is dumb as shit.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, like there's no like I get what they're doing, but it's like they're like, oh, we spent so much time doing so many things, and it's like, no, you didn't. I could make that in Blender. It guaranteed it'll look terrible, but I can do that same exact motion, which like they have the assets already. They didn't have to recreate these things. The only thing they had to recreate, Chunch, is like grabbed a splash sound from somewhere, slapped it in there, and then took two things that they already had and put them together. Because there's no visual to it except for the ship moving over water, which is already in the fucking game. So that pissed me off, number one. Then there's a generic thing, the generic gimmick, where you float through a bubble. Let's see, Mario's done that, Zelda's done that. Like, oh, okay, so we're just taking things from Nintendo, whatever. And then off of that, whenever there's a fight area, you don't fight in the water. There's no fighting in the water because you can't pull your gun out. There's nothing. Like you're in the water, it's actually just one slows your movement, forces you to do something gimmicky, and then pulls you. Like once you're done in the water, you pull out and then you fight. So it's like every other thing. I hate water. I hate water in games. It's so bad. It's just dumb.
That's
That's the whole season. That's it.
That's
nothing different. They'll never do anything different for the season.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's okay.
You've accepted your fate.
I haven't thought that they were going to do anything better anyways, so seeing it just made me go like, ha ha ha, great.
Dude, that's the thing. Like, I remember I was going on a whole fucking tirade talking about like fucking just live service games and like, yeah, Destiny has that issue of just like I wanted to get into it. I wanted to give it a shot again, but I couldn't fucking do it. There's something about it where it's just like the free to play shit just doesn't appeal to me. And I will talk about what I got into about my week once I get into it, but it's just like, yeah, Destiny just feels like, I feel like they're just running out of ideas. And like about the news as well, it's just like they have the what is it? Is it an update that they're doing, or is it like a brand new expansion?
In the news?
Yeah,
Oh, that's it's already been, we know about that. We've known about that. We'll talk about it in the news, but
yeah,
there's something to it.
yeah. But overall, just Destiny just does not appeal to me. I know there are people who like really are into Destiny, but I don't know.
I would say right around the time maybe around the Destiny 2 has been bad, but I would say when it went free to play, it kind of just went
Plummeted.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's that's what happens when shit gets free to play. Is that like the cool thing is yes, you get to play it, but like there has to be a way for them to regain profit, and they do the most
They
gross
were
ass shit.
looking. I think the problem is there wasn't enough growth into the community, so
Mhm.
they were like, "Well, how do we do it?"
Free to
And
play.
yeah, they're for sure probably looking. I think I said this to you before. I think they're just looking for a way to kill the game. I think they don't really want to keep having to put money and energy into it, and they
Hmm.
want to put their time into the new things that they've been, Tencent and stuff.
Yeah. So that's a shame.
And I don't care.
uh,
Like as long as League like fucking keeps making characters, will be fine.
okay, fair enough. Anything else?
Um, Nothing. Oh no, I did play something new.
Oh,
I played Wayfinder.
Wayfinder.
It's the beta thing right now that a lot of people are playing. Um, I think it's trying to be kind of MMO. It's from Digital Extremes. Uh, the people that made Warframe. Um, and you can
Oh,
feel
the
how
Warframe.
it feels like Warframe. Which is fine because I love Warframe. So,
Okay.
I don't know. It's
Oh
different for
yeah,
sure.
I
You
see
have
this. Yeah.
very RPG characters, like a tank, a rogue, and I don't know if the person's a mage or something, kind of magey mixture between something else.
Oh no, they have a hot lady.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I only played like an hour, but um,
It looks like a Riot game.
well, Wayfinder.
Yeah, like I'm seeing the key art and it just looks like something that Riot made, but
I think it's gonna be free to play, so that's why.
okay.
Like Digital Extremes isn't known for like high end art or high end like
Yeah, I
game.
mean, fucking yeah, like you said,
Warframe is fucking
Warframe.
crazy pay to win.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember I tried getting into Warframe and I'm just like, I can't do it.
I have for sure spent $200 at least on Warframe.
Yeah.
But so here's the difference, right? I don't believe in putting thousands of dollars into a game to become like the best or anything.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even believe in putting $200 into a game to become better. But I will have to say like the money versus time and like fun spent with friends that I had
Mhm.
was actually really enjoyable.
Yeah, as long as you have like some fun moments with it, then I think you actually put the worth into it, the value into it. So,
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
yeah.
I'm never like, man, I never should have put $200 into that game. I'm just like, yeah, well, I really didn't buy games those time, like the 2 years I played that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
That's fair.
yeah,
But how is it as a
Wayfinder, it's mediocre right now, and
okay.
that's only because it's not finished.
Okay. That's fair.
Um, but I could see enjoying it. I could also see the same thing I do with Warframe, which is play it, then put it down for half a year, then play it again.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's and I mean, I was gonna say that's the lifespan of those free to play games. Is just like there's gonna be a point where it's just gone. So
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, it's gonna be there for as long as the servers are up, but it's like it's gonna be gone at a point. It's weird.
That kind of scares me about League because I think about that all the time. Where I'm like, it's gonna die at some point.
Yeah,
Like everything dies.
everything dies. Anything else died?
Um,
Anything else died?
Actually, speaking of something that died, yes. I like finally fully uninstalled uh the game where you die and come back to life, the shooter. The
Returnal?
chick is no, the chick is chasing you.
The chick is chasing you.
Yeah. It's
Oh, Deathloop.
yeah. So I was thinking about this when I like deleted it because I was like, I know I'm gonna talk to Chunch about it, and I know he's gonna like have like his
Uh,
own
my
viewpoint on it.
opinions.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, but I was thinking about it, and I'm like, man, I really don't enjoy this one. Um, and part of the reason I don't enjoy it, and I have a feeling you're gonna disagree with me, which is fine.
Mhm.
I think whenever we go to the main screen, there's like so many things around me on the screen that it's just cluttered that I have to like read this, read this, read this,
Oh,
read
the
this.
loadout shit.
Yeah, and I
Yeah, no,
fucking can't stand it.
I agree with you. There's a lot to take in because it's like when you're first experiencing the game, there's just like, okay, you get this. What does this do? Game basically tells you it does this, and then you do with that, and then you load in with that, and then you got to do that. And it's just
Mhm.
like, yeah, it does become overwhelming. But the more you play the game, the more you start to obviously you start to understand it. And that was my case. Was just like this feels like a lot. And even I had the issue when I first booted up Deathloop was just like I feel like there's way too much happening, and it's just like I don't know if I want to continue playing the game. And then eventually I just gritted my teeth, and I'm just like, all right, let's do it. And then I read all the tutorial shit. I read all the hints, and it's just like, okay, it is understandable. You can understand it, and then the game will
You have
fucking
to stealth most of the time.
not necessarily. You don't really have to. It does give you the option, the freedom to do it because it's very reminiscent of Dishonored, obviously, because it's the same fucking company.
Mm, I hate
But
this so much.
if you didn't like Dishonored, then that's gonna be your whole issue with the game is that like it feels a little Dishonory.
Yeah, I gotta really start like vetting the games I play or the ones that I buy because
Mhm,
one that ended up being free, um,
mhm.
and I really like I don't know when I deleted it I was like why'd I pay $60 for this? I'm mad.
Did you pay $60?
Yeah, I bought it when it came out.
Oh, jeez. I bought
Uh,
it like way discounted, like for $20.
I mean I'm not like horribly upset about it because I really did think it was gonna be good,
Yeah.
but I mean you know it is what it is.
I double dipped with that game because I bought it for my PC and at the time I didn't have good specs and the thing was fucking killing my PC. So then I waited for a discount and I bought it for like $20 for my PS5.
Yeah, I mean I think you said you enjoyed it, right?
I enjoyed my time with it. Yeah. After, you get way past that whole thing at the beginning of like, all right, here's a hint, here's a tutorial, here's this, is that, how does this work? Here's your screen, which is cluttered with a bunch of shit. And yeah, it's just the thing with that game is that like you are gonna find better weapons and you're gonna have different loadouts for your abilities and shit like that. And like some abilities felt a lot stronger than other ones. So, you kind of have this whole pace that you're going at of like, all right, I know what's good for me, I know what's good to go. Let's go. Um the one thing that I didn't get too into was the multiplayer stuff. Because do you know about the whole thing about the multiplayer aspect of that game?
Where somebody can chase you down.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can have a friend basically come into your game and shoot you down.
Mhm.
And which is kind of unfortunate because like there's trophies behind that and I just like I hate multiplayer trophies, but that's besides the point.
Can I do it with you?
Uh no, we never did it together.
No, can I do it with
Oh
you?
yeah, yeah. I just gotta reinstall that game.
All right. I mean, if you need to get it done and there's a way for me to help you, I'll do it.
All right, I just have to figure out what trophies I want to get. But
Yeah,
or
just
yeah.
let me know.
But like once you get through the game, it is kind of enjoyable because I think a lot of people's issues with that game was that the game was kind of lying of what it was because it is a semi roguelike. Uh, but people were expecting this game to have like a much more bigger aspect on like taking out your targets, which the game really doesn't do. And then it becomes kind of linear towards the midway point, and like you start to basically find the paths your targets take, and you're able to get them no problem. Once you learn their pathing, it becomes easy. But I do like that part of that game of just like learning the level, learning what different things you can do to take out your target, or doing a different level and learning something about a previous target that you took out, because that's the whole thing about that game is like the cycle, right? Is like every day restarts. So, you know, if you're in a level that you have to take out a target, it's like, oh, here's this little note that's like, oh, this other target is at this building at this time, and this is a perfect opportunity, and like they're in a room that you can do something with. Like there's different stuff with that. So like that's why I liked that game a little bit, was just like learning the levels and learning out how to take out the targets. But like I said, some people didn't like that because it felt too linear for them.
Wow. Too much like Final Fantasy 13. The lightning is in within.
Yep. That game's so
Bro,
weird.
when people complained about the linearness of that, I was like, have you played Final Fantasy before?
Yeah, Final Fantasy is weird because like obviously they were doing something different, and this new one is super linear. Fucking 16 is like like according to the director is like the most linear thing in the world, but um I haven't gone back to play Lightning Returns because it's been a while, but like that game is super fucking weird. Because it is somewhat linear, but at the same time it's not, because you have to wait for like the time to. It basically you're on the clock. It's such a weird game. It kind of reminds me of Dead Rising. You ever play Dead Rising?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, because Dead Rising you were on a clock.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what Lightning Returns feels like. It feels like Dead Rising, but with lightning.
Yeah, I had fun watching you play Lightning. I didn't really like it though.
Yeah, it's very weird. I haven't gotten back to it. I don't know if I'm going to go back to it. That's the real
You
question.
don't have to go back to it. Why not? There's more lightning to return.
I kind of want to finish it because it's like I want to see how absurd this gets, but like the story at the beginning is one of the stupidest shit in the world. It's so fucking dumb, and I'm like, wow, they made three games based off this one character, and it's
But you
like,
don't want to listen to Snow complain about how bad his hair day is.
no, Snow is just complaining about how he doesn't have a fiance anymore. He's very sad, no
Fonse.
fiance, and that his
Just
sister,
Fonse.
his potential sister-in-law hates him. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's the stupidest shit in the world. But like
What was the sister's name? That
Sarah,
went to the crystal. Sarah. Okay.
Sarah, yeah,
She was in a crystal, right?
yes,
We don't have
yeah.
to go to the story. It's fine.
No, because like 13 story is so fucking bizarre because 13 2 fucks things up because it's a time travel alternate world story, and it's like I like 13 2 because the music's really good in that game, and the character Noel is played by Max Goof, so I like it. I think his voice is kind of
Goof's the
interesting.
maximum.
Yeah, Maximus Goofus. Um, but that story is beyond like stupid, and it's so hard to comprehend. Uh, and then 13 and like Lightning Returns is just a bizarre case of events because like essentially Lightning is a messiah. It's so bizarre. It's so fucking weird. And like you're on the clock because you gotta like save the world in like 7 days. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, the concept.
It's literally sounds like Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask.
Yeah, but Majora's Mask did it better though.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Because Japanese people know how to write better. Us
Lightning
Fat American brains.
No, but even then, like Lightning Returns is Japanese, so it's like
Oh,
yeah.
I'm fucking dumb. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. It's all right.
Johnny Bravo would be mad at me.
He would.
That's it, by the way, for me.
Okay. But
Sorry.
but just bring it back to Deathloop. It's just like it. Once you get into the game, I think my time with it, I kind of enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say it's like the best game I've ever played, because that's what's the other thing is that like I appreciate the Dishonored game, but like I started feeling a shit ton of fatigue when I was playing Dishonored 2.
Yeah, we talked about that. I didn't like Dishonored 1. I think you said you went through fine for Dishonored 1, but
Yeah, Dishonored 2
2
was
2 was gonna come out and it was like free at some point or something, and I played it and maybe like 10 minutes of it, and I was like, no, this is not at all what I like.
I
Like I
think
wanted it to be like BioShock, and it was nothing to me like it at all.
I think the problem is that there's a lot of lore shit in Dishonored. For me, my personal problem with it was that, like there's a lot of lore shit, but it's like hidden around the level, and like you have to look in every fucking building, or like there's a secret to a building that you have never have gotten. And then on top of that, it's just like you have to read a fucking like long ass paragraph of like this lore thing that like kind of helps, because that was one of the things in Dishonored 1 where, oh, I didn't realize that was a plot point or a thing in Dishonored 1 where um the little girl princess character is Corvo's daughter. I didn't know that until like Dishonored 2, where it's like, oh, that's her dad. And it's like, oh yeah, you could have gotten this little lore dump in Dishonored 1, which I never found because I went through Dishonored 1 of just killing people. But that
I
was
didn't
just,
even know what could be Quavo's daughter.
yeah, Quavo Atano. Yeah, Dishonored 1 is such a weird game because it's like it's not bad, it's very interesting, but like there is a lot, especially like learning the levels and shit like that. And then Dishonored 2 expanded on that of just like making big ass levels, and like the problem is like the whole morality system of like either you kill your enemies or you knock them out, or not even kill them. And it's just like that was a thing that kind of like impeded on my fun aspect of that game, of just like it's like it was very unclear of like what you wanted from me, but you just, I think overall, just don't kill anybody. That was the thing.
Right,
I,
right.
yeah. Yeah, Dishonored is a weird one. I know there's that like expansion, Death to the Outsider. I booted that up, but I didn't get too far into it.
Mhm.
But I do want to go back to play Dishonored 1 because I never played any of the DLC stuff. So, yeah. Dishonored game is weird, but the other thing that was way more interesting was Prey. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I remember watching you play it.
That game was basically almost, I want to say the same as Dishonored, but it was basically what are those games called? They're like they call them a sim, like I forget what the name is actually called, the genre.
Ray's
Like,
actually in my subscription, by the way, for PlayStation.
okay, I would say play, I think it's in 30 frames though. That's the only thing.
The
Uh
frames don't really bother me.
okay. But it's, oh, immersive sim. That's what it's called. And that game was a lot more interesting and a lot more fun. I don't know why that game felt a lot better in my opinion. But I really, really enjoyed my time with that game, and I do want to go back and replay that because it was just so interesting. And then they came out with like a roguelike game for it, just like I think it's called like Moon Crash, something like that. And it's basically like, yeah, it's just roguelike where it's like every time you die the level resets, but it changes something, and like you have to make your way through the moon, some shit like that. Yeah, Prey is pretty good, funny enough. But yeah, Deathloop's a weird one because it's like it is enjoyable once you get past it, but yeah, it just feels like it's so overwhelming with the amount of shit that it's trying to throw at you.
Mhm. I
Uh,
might come back to it at some point. It's just not this year, probably.
that's fair. That's incredibly fair, and it's sad too because like, what is it called? Redfall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that game, and just like hearing about like what's going on with it, or like what it is now, it's just a shame because it's like, damn man, that sucks. That fucking sucks. But oh well.
I mean, did you still want to try it or no?
No, unless they update it to make it way better, and like on top of it, the game is really buggy still. It's just like I have no.
Well, hopefully they do then, because it does. I know how that feels like when you're like looking forward to something and it becomes like not good. So
Yeah,
you
I
know,
mean,
whatever, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
learning from Cyberpunk, it's just like Cyberpunk now is a better game than it was before, but still, it was. I had a couple bugs in that game, so it's like It's not a perfect game, but it is a game that I did enjoy. I remember I was going to make a fucking review for Cyberpunk, and I put that on hold because I wanted to do the DLC stuff, but like I'm starting to think like I'm starting to lose all the stuff that I remembered from Cyberpunk. Um, so I don't know if I should make a review about Cyberpunk or something completely different, but we'll see.
Um, yeah, the rest of my year will end up being Diablo probably. Diablo League.
Yep. When is that coming out? June 6th?
Second for me, bitch, because I got the big boy order. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's right. June 2nd. Bro, fucking Street Fighter is coming out June 2nd, and I ordered the collector's edition, and like,
Really?
yeah,
I didn't even know it was coming out that quick. I thought that shit was like months away.
it's wild. It's going out like a couple, like in next week.
Good though.
Wait, next week or this week? This week. Oh shit.
Just second is this week, yeah.
Yeah, holy
Friday, right?
shit. Yeah. Friday.
Okay, yeah.
Fuck, dude. And I bought the collector's edition. It comes with like these neat figures. It looks
Bro,
pretty cool.
you know next time we talk it's gonna be
Diablo.
hour-long Diablo discussion, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to play Diablo. I'm gonna have to play Diablo.
Oh, you
Oh, okay.
we
Never.
should play, please.
Okay. I'm looking at my Amazon order, so it's coming June 5th. My collector's edition of Street Fighter 6, and then
nice.
my copy of Diablo 4 is coming June 8th.
Oh, you got yourself a
The physical, yeah. I got me the physical.
Anything good come with the physical copy?
No, it's just a regular disc.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't get the collector's edition or anything.
Oh, okay, you got the regular.
Yeah, I got the regular because I was just like,
I'll see you on the 6. I'm just fucking with you. It's really fucked up, like sounding. That sounded really snooty. I was just fucking around.
sure. Hurt my feelings, but okay. Yeah, we're in it for fucking June, bro. June, and Final Fantasy 16 is coming out the 22nd. Like,
wow, really?
Yeah, June is packed, bro. June is fucking packed.
Not to sound really like down about it, but I'm not excited for Final Fantasy.
That's fair.
Visually, I am, but the summon shit doesn't look very cool to me.
I'm just excited for it because it looks like Devil May Cry, but done with fucking Final Fantasy. But the story, I think the story is the interesting aspect of it because I'm coming up with my own theories for it of like what the story is. And if it is what I think it is, that is the coolest shit I've seen in a while.
Are you getting it?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the deluxe edition or the collector's edition.
You got to stream the Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I'm not gonna watch it. I don't want to play it.
Because my problem is fucking Legend of Zelda currently because like I'm still playing through that. But
that's fine. Just take your time to that, and then work your way to the next thing.
Yeah, because like I had somebody tell me that like the most like requirements you need for like progressing through Zelda is like 10 hearts and like 2 stamina wheels, and like it's basically it. I'm like, okay, cool. So I have to go full hardcore on like getting all the shrines and this and that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, but I even at this point, I'm like, I'm not playing the game off stream. I've been doing all the gameplay on stream. So yeah. Zelda. But yeah, June is packed with a bunch of shit. Fucking tomorrow, the System Shock remake is coming out.
Oh yeah, I did see.
Yeah, and apparently it's actually pretty good from what I've seen in reviews.
Shocks, I don't know.
Yeah, I never played System Shock either, but I know people love it. Yeah, the deluxe edition is the one I got. It comes with a steel case and a map. Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited for Final Fantasy 16.
I hope it's but once I watch you play it, I'll be like, even if it is good, I'll be like, I'm not gonna
buy it. That's fair.
I can't remember. There was a game I watched you play that I really, really, really wanted to play, and I was just like, oh, but I watched it. It can't come to like top of my head. But...
I feel like that's like everything I probably played.
No, there's a good amount of games you played that I was like, glad I watched it. I'm glad I didn't buy it though.
There's a game that I played that you probably enjoyed.
No, I did. I know I enjoyed it. I just can't remember. It was like maybe a year. It might have been. I think it was a Guardian game with the giant
Oh, that game's terrible.
I
Last
don't know.
Guardian. Last Guardian.
Yeah, but I like the aesthetics to it. I really like.
Oh yeah, everything around it was great. The
Yeah,
gameplay itself, I fucking hated it.
yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like, I probably, and again, like, this, it's my
Yeah,
own thing. I just, because I watched it, I would be, or just because, like, I know the story, it's too hard for me to, like, forget shit like that.
that's okay. Yeah, I disliked Last Guardian,
Oh, I
and
know.
it sucks because like
Yeah.
I love Shadow of the Colossus. I haven't played
Yeah.
Ico, but like Shadow of the Colossus
Michael's okay.
I never played it.
It's
So
good.
okay.
I would play it if I was you.
Yeah, I have it on my PS3. I just haven't. I never booted it up because I was always thinking of like either that's gonna be a stream game or that's gonna be just something for me.
I do think though, for like myself, part of the fun with that game was because you were having so much trouble, and just hearing you be like, "The
So
fucking dumb horse thing, fucking just goddamn let me fucking climb." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
so that was the thing that a lot of people were defending about Last Guardian was because Trico is a weird dog wild animal thing. Of course he's not gonna listen to you. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid. This is a stupid excuse. He's supposed to be a fucking video game AI that's supposed to help me out, but he's so
it should
uh
it should never be like hard to get the AI thing to do,
yeah.
especially when it's a tool. You know what I'm saying?
It just it like I understand the like, I understand that like idea behind it, but it's just like, no, man, like let me fucking do the level. Like let me get through it. I don't want to fight my companion because like
No, and like
it
if
was
that was the case, like if it was supposed to be that, like, oh, it doesn't, it's like a baby or it's an animal, don't
yeah,
understand, then
because
like it should only be for a portion of the game. It should be the whole thing.
it was giving me the vibes of fucking Resident Evil 5 where your partner's AI was the fucking worst.
Oh, I love that game still.
When you play it co-op, yeah, it is a fun ass game, but
Oh
like
no, I liked it like in general. Just
oh,
like I understand like the AI was bad and I did have that trouble, but
yeah.
the game itself, like I enjoyed. That was fun.
Yeah, but I remember I tried going back to playing Resident Evil 5 on like the hardest difficulty and I couldn't do it because Sheva would get hit so many fucking times.
Yeah.
And you basically have to watch over your partner and it's just like I can't do this. I can't do this.
I had to have a friend join me at one point to try to get one of the things done for the hard mode.
Yeah. But yeah,
Anyways,
fucking Last Guardian, fucking bullshit. Anyways,
how was your week?
it was pretty all right. You know, I didn't really do too much. I guess for video games, I bought a shit ton of games. I'm kind of pissed at myself that I bought some more games because it's like I got to figure out whether or not this is going to be a game for me or a game for stream, and I've been having that problem ever since. But regardless, the thing that I have been playing on my own time is The Division, Tom Clancy, The Division 1. Because I didn't realize I'm so close to the end of that game, like the main story stuff, even though the story is not super important. Um, but overall, so this is the thing. The reason why I want to finish Division 1 is because I bought Division 2, and I keep hearing Division 2 is way better than 1. And playing through 1 currently, 1 is incredibly mediocre. It
Yeah.
is wild for me to think that this game, I think, came out at the same time, almost the same time as Destiny. Or
Did it really?
Destiny 2, something around that time, because like this was during the time where like
Definitely Destiny 2.
live service games were becoming really big, and I think Ubisoft wanted a hand in that, so that's why they created the Division. And on top of that, you know, Tom Clancy's a big fucking name for them.
Yeah, you're right.
So the game is so nothing, and I think that's why I put this game down for a good ass time. Was just because there's nothing that is like captivating or anything that is interesting. The setup for it is interesting because like, do you remember the whole setup of the Division?
Like story wise?
Yeah, story wise.
War, right?
Okay, so basically an outbreak happens where basically this virus that was affecting dollar bills started infecting people because this was during Black Friday. A pandemic happened essentially.
I actually don't know the fucking story of that game. I literally played it just to play it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not gonna blame you for that.
Like hearing this, I don't remember any of this, and that is literally fucking dumb.
So yeah, basically a pandemic breaks out and like New York is closed off. So New York basically becomes like Escape from New York, that movie, where it's like desolate, almost apocalyptic, and like people are just trying to survive it, like very rummaging, and like that's why different factions have been made within New York of like different factions that you have to fight. So like there are people called the Cleaners, there are people who there are criminals that escaped Rikers Island, called the Rikers. There's also just
I hate it.
there's scavengers. But it's interesting as to like, okay, that's why these factions exist. There's also another faction of like military guys that are basically just stuck there.
Yeah, the military guy. I got stuck.
Yeah, the Cleaners are kind of interesting because it's like they're pyromaniacs essentially. But you understand why they're called Cleaners is because they basically were the people burning like anything that was infected with the virus. But that's basically the premises, and then on top of that, your main character is part of the Division, which is like the super agents that I think the thing at the beginning of the game hints that they were like sleeper agents. I don't remember. But then you have this whole thing of like this one character basically being trapped in New York because her helicopter got shot down, and there's a whole thing that the game tries to add of like audio logs about how like there's a possible chance that the government doesn't want to do anything about New York. Like there's some like weird government espionage that's happening. It's very bizarre, but that's the biggest problem of this game is like it feels like there's nothing that's captivating. And it's just like the gameplay itself is so mediocre because every side mission is the same exact fucking thing. Minus a couple of side missions that don't feel the same, but so this is the problem. If like you get into a side mission and it's like, okay, the side mission is protect this one NPC. You're protecting the NPC by fighting off like 3 waves of enemies, and that's it for that thing, and it becomes so fucking tedious because you're doing the exact same thing with other missions. It was just like protect this thing, or go after this thing, or that you're fighting waves of enemies, and that's it. But that's the only thing you can build upon a shooter like that game. It's like there's nothing else you can do, so it's like you basically put yourself in a rut. And then the only difference of the game's side mission is one particular side mission where you have to find these like contagion machines where they basically are supposed to scan a building, but they've been shut off. So you have to go turn them on. You're being timed, and you basically turn them all on. Then you get to like the end point of turning this one thing on, and that's it. It's just a timed thing that you're doing. That's the only different part of the game when it comes to side missions. But other than that, all the side missions feel the same. There are legit moments, and I think it's a problem for this game being online, is there was lag happening when I was hitting enemies.
Okay.
So there would be legit moments where like I'm shooting the enemy and like they don't get hit until like 3 to like 5 seconds later. Like it's just like, oh, why? And then that would happen for me as well, where like I'm behind cover, but I've been shot a little bit beforehand, so I'm literally behind cover and I see my health going down, and I'm like, oh, it's so infuriating. And then I guess this game was meant to be like Destiny because like, you know, you are expected to play with friends and shit like that. And I remember playing this with Wesley like years ago, and we had a pretty good time with it. Because obviously you playing with somebody else is a lot more fun, but playing single player wise, it gets infuriating and it gets frustrating because the thing that you're doing and like every main mission is shooting waves of enemies, and like they're not particularly smart AI either. Like they just run around, so then it becomes a fucking it becomes a wild goose chase when I'm trying to figure out, okay, I killed all the enemies. Why is the little like mission directive still saying kill all the enemies? Like, okay, there's a guy somewhere around here that I have to find and kill. And then I find him and it's like he's stuck behind a wall. And I'm like, God damn it. God damn it.
All these problems are recent, right?
Yeah. Like I'm
That maybe their servers aren't doing great.
yeah, I mean, I think they're putting it into Destiny. They're putting it into Division 2, so it's like, I guess.
Yeah, I think because I played Division 2 pretty recent, and I don't have those problems. And when I did play Division 1, I'd never had those problems.
Okay. Yeah, but
So, like I said, just wondering, maybe, and maybe not.
maybe not, but like it's just like, god damn, like I this game is meant to be played with other people, but even then it's just like the tedium of doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again. It's just like I literally got fatigue from that game because there's moments where I'm like, okay, let me finish up the Division. God damn it, I cannot fucking play this game anymore. But I'm so close to the end that I'm like, there's a weird part of me that feels obligated to finish it. But then I completely forgot that I bought DLC for this thing. So there's the Dark Zone DLC, which what is that? Is that like a like roguelike
I
thing?
believe it has PvP to it.
Okay, I have to figure that out. But I have to look at the DLC and what exactly they have if I can just skip over it. Because if it's PvP stuff, then there's no fucking point because like nobody's playing this game. Only like I've seen a couple of people online, but it's like you can count them with your fingers. Like that's how low it is. But overall, like there's nothing captivating about that game, and it is one of those games where it's like you're doing a cycle. You have to do something in order to progress a little bit more, because, huh?
Which one are you talking about?
The Division.
Oh, you're still talking about Division. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you don't like it?
The Division 1, not really.
Okay. Yeah, no. I personally don't think it's great. It's very Ubisoft. Like
It's very. That's what I'm saying. It's very mediocre.
yeah, everything they do feels that way to me. Like, with the exception of Assassin's Creed when it first started out, I thought that was great when it first started, but now it's become the same thing, just a cycle of bullshit that you keep doing.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that like the tedium of that gameplay for that specific game is just like it's mind numbing. If you're doing it by yourself, it is incredibly mind numbing. And you know, so do you remember like the whole like cycle of that game where like you basically have to get resources in order for you to build on your like at your safe house, where it's like you have to get points to basically to get more medical stuff or more tech or more security, that kind of stuff, and you start unlocking perks and shit like that. So that's the thing that also like becomes mind numbing, is just like, okay, I gotta go get more points to unlock this thing, and if I want to unlock this thing I gotta get more points for that. And it's just like the side missions are also, like I said, mind-numbing because they feel like the exact same thing over and over again. And then the actual main missions is just like they try to add some story stuff, but like the story feels so minuscule that it just like there's no point to it. There's really no point to it. And it's funny enough because like Tom Clancy is just like, it's all about like military, spy, espionage, that shit, because like I was playing a little bit of Splinter Cell, and Splinter Cell is a lot more interesting because obviously it's big government espionage shit, and it's a stealth game, so it's like that's the only difference, and it's a single player game. But with this, it's just like you can feel that like Ubisoft was running out of ideas for Tom Clancy. And then you have like fucking Wildlands and Breakpoint, where like, you know, Breakpoint was from the amount that I played, it was such a middling game that is just like it felt inoffensive, which is the wild thing to think about. But the Division feels like they were really running out of ideas. So yeah, like I said, I feel like the Division 2 hopefully is a little bit of a better experience, but like I'm close to the end of the Division 1, so I'll
story-wise, I don't think you're gonna like it just as much as the first one. But gameplay wise, for sure, like it feels.
I keep hearing, yeah. I keep hearing about that, but even then, like with this, it's weird because I was going on forums and shit, and people were like, "Oh yeah, the story in Division 1 is a lot better," but like I don't feel anything to it. Like I don't feel anything for this story because it's such a nothing story. The like I said, the setup for it is interesting because the whole pandemic aspect of it, but yeah, there's no interesting characters. Your character is basically a nothing character. Yeah, it just feels empty. Um, so yeah, the Division 1 that has been part of my week of just trying to get through, try to get through it. And I bought a shit ton of games afterwards because it's just like, all right, let me see what I can either stream or play on my own time. So I bought a shit ton of games on PlayStation because there's a sale going on. Um, so I bought like fucking God,
Ice Road Truckers.
no, I bought the other two Fatal Frame games, that came out for PS4 and PS5 because
Uh,
yeah, because I forgot that I liked Fatal Frame 1, but Fatal Frame 1 had like a weird puzzle that like I needed a guide on. And I've yet to play the other ones, but like, you know, the other two games now exist and there is a possible way of playing the rest of the games. Um, I'm still going through Spider-Man Remastered because I want to get the new game plus trophies. And Spider-Man, you know, is a good game
yeah.
still. I bought Klonoa. I'm basically running down the games that I bought, but I haven't booted up. Do you remember Klonoa?
No, absolutely not.
You don't remember it, or absolutely not?
I know
As
what you're talking about.
oh, you don't. Wait, what'd you say?
What the fuck is Klonoa? I have no idea.
Okay, so Klonoa is a platforming game with a little like bunny character.
I'm just gonna Google it. 'Cause I know what
Yeah,
you're talking
Klonoa is spelled Klonoa.
K what?
Klonoa.
KL?
Klonoa.
What the fuck? Sonic?
I think it was developed by Sega. Or was it
Looks dumb.
Konami? I don't know. But I remember seeing this game because I remember playing the demo disc for the first game from the PlayStation 1. And I never played Klonoa ever. So I got the HD version that came out. I also got Castlevania Advance Collection, which comes with the Castlevania Advance games. They're on the Game Boy. Uh, yeah, Spiritfarer, Pac-Man World Repack, the 3D Pac-Man game.
Here or farther? Or
Fairer, Fairer,
Fair?
yeah. Demon Turf, which was a game that looked really interesting because like your character is like a 2D character with like 3D world. It looked really cool. I just was always interested in that game. Proteus, which is like a shooter that is kind of reminiscent of Doom, but like the graphics itself is like this. It looks really cool because like the gore effects just like look liquidy, but like your world looks pixelated. It's very interesting. Moon Scars, which is another like platforming slasher hack and slash game. Shadow Man. You ever heard of Shadow Man?
No.
It's another one of those 3D shooters. I bought one of the Shantae games. Alien Nation, which is a stick shooter by the same people that did Helldivers. Demon Gaze 2, which I played the first one a little bit on my PS Vita. I forgot a sequel came out. So I haven't played Demon Gaze 2, but it's a JRPG essentially. I bought the bundle for The Witch and the 100th Night, which that's also like a kind of like a hack and slash sort of, as far as I know. And because Alan Wake 2 is coming out, I bought Alan Wake Remastered. And then I also bought two other games, Grime, which is another platformer action, and Rustler. So
Rustler.
have you seen Rustler?
No, the name just sounds really funny.
So Rustler is a game that this company made that is basically what if we did Grand Theft Auto 1 but in medieval times, but it's also self-aware. Cuz you remember how Grand Theft Auto originally was just like above camera?
Yeah.
And like that's essentially what Rustler is, but set in medieval times.
Okay.
It's very weird, but it's also like self-aware of what
Hold
it's
on.
doing.
Isometric camera?
Not really isometric, just like top down.
Top down completely. Okay.
Yeah, because have you seen like what original Grand Theft Auto looks like?
Yeah, I know exactly. That sounds really fucking not great.
It's weird. It's very
Top down is
weird.
horrible for me.
It's
For me.
it's very weird, but I haven't gotten too far into it. But it's like I've always seen like just the dumb shit you can do, and I was kind of interested in it. But yeah, I bought Alan Wake Remastered. And I played a little bit more of Alan Wake Remastered, and goddamn, I really like Alan Wake.
Bro, I'm so excited. I know we'll talk, but like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to say
It's okay.
I'm happy.
It's all right. It's all right. I get you. But yeah, Alan.
So the remaster is good.
So this was always the weird thing about Alan Wake 1 was in cutscenes, lip syncing wasn't right. So playing the remastered is just seeing the cutscenes with better lip syncing is such a bizarre thing. It's so weird. Because I played Alan Wake 1 on PC, and that was just like the Xbox port for that game. And like I said, the lip syncing was just like the weirdest fucking thing in that game, where it's just like it was not matching the words that they were saying. And this remastered is basically I think Epic Games published it. Yeah, so obviously there's a bit more budget behind it, and like it improves on the visuals a little bit. Like it is still Alan Wake, but like it's just yeah,
like Alan has finally woke.
He has awakened. And yeah, it's just so weird. But like, I think the other thing about this remastered was that I think they had to get rid of some of the songs that were licensed. So I don't know what they got rid of, but I do intend on playing this more. But it's Alan Wake. Like, if you like Alan Wake, you're gonna like this. So, and it's been a while since I played Alan Wake. The other thing is that like I'm surprised that American Nightmare hasn't like been re-released. I think actually the game has been delisted on Steam because of licensing shit for music. And
that's such a weird thing.
Stuff getting delisted.
Music, yeah, weird.
I mean, that was Grand Theft Auto for a bit.
So weird to me. I mean, again, like I get like people understand it. To me, I'm like, why? Whatever.
Yeah.
Let me have the game.
Yeah. Oh,
but it also does bring back the point that specifically you make about physical media. So
yeah, and preservation, because like that was the thing about fucking Midnight Club. I love that game. Midnight Club Los Angeles, I should say, because that was the first Midnight Club game I've ever played. I really enjoyed it, but I never finished it. So I remember I rebought it, and then it was like, oh, this game needs to download a patch. So I downloaded the patch, and the patch ended up taking out songs that I was just like, oh fuck, that sucks. So I probably had to basically reinstall that game and turn the internet off for a good bit. But they took out a song that was done by Kid Cudi called Switchin' Lanes, and that was one of my favorite songs from that game. And it sucks that it's not there anymore.
But so when you switch lanes, you can't anymore.
Not anymore.
With you.
Kid Cudi's not there with me.
He's like you're crying, singing it solo because you turn off all the music. You're like, I don't know the words, so I will do it. But...
I really recommend that you take a listen to that song, because that song fucking amped me up every time.
I love Kid Cudi, dude. Of course I will.
Yeah, Kid Cudi good.
I love Cud. You know what I'm saying?
Getting the could.
I love could. You know what I'm saying? If I could, I could. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
All right, I'm
done. So what else did I buy? I bought some stuff on Steam because Steam is having a bit of a sale. I'm debating on whether or not I should get one game. But the stuff that I did buy on Steam was I bought Total War Warhammer. Because a shit ton of Warhammer games are on sale. I also bought Warhammer Mechanicus, which is a turn-based strategy game. And the biggest thing that came out this month was Warhammer Bolt Gun. Have you seen any gameplay for this?
Bolt gun, dog? What?
So Warhammer Bolt Gun is basically a Doom Warhammer game. And you know who voices the main character?
Who?
Rahul Kohli, the sheriff from Midnight Mass. He-
So, yeah.
He's having fun with it. Like he's having super fun with it, and it's really cool. But what I've seen, like gameplay wise, it's essentially Doom, like old like 90s Doom. Let me see, what else did I buy? Yeah, Total War Warhammer. Hold on. Like I said, I bought a ton of fucking Warhammer games. No, actually not a ton, that's a lie. Yeah, I gotta get back into playing more RTSs. Because remember, I played a little bit of Halo, what is it? Halo Wars, and I haven't gone back to it. That's a pretty good RTS game.
Halo Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
I never got to play it, but I'm sure it's probably good. I do want to get an Xbox, honestly.
Xbox One? Xbox Series X?
Maybe not like this generation, but for sure next gen I'm buying an Xbox. And then
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah, there's a part of me that kind of wants to do that as well. Buy an Xbox. Because I've been debating whether or not I should get an Xbox Series X, but it's just going to be something to play older games on. That's basically the whole point.
Oh, and you know, we've had that talk where like it honestly just seems like the right thing to do at that point. Like because
Yeah.
it has the most like cataloged.
What the hell else did I buy? Hold on. Let me look at the stuff that I bought. Oh, Cassette Beasts, which is like a Pokemon-esque game, which has really good music. The Ascent. I don't know if you've ever seen that game. It's like an isometric shooter. And then another tactics game by the name of Phoenix Point.
You know what? I think I heard of Ascent actually. I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
And Phoenix Point, I know. I just again can't visually like put something to it.
I think it's made by the guy who did XCOM.
Okay, XCOM's okay.
Yeah, I never got into XCOM. I should really get into XCOM because I've had those games in my back catalog for years and I have not touched them. I don't know. I like turn-based like strategy games, but I keep having them in my back catalog because I'm not good at strategizing. And then I am planning on going through the Sniper Elite games. So there's that. And
into those games.
You couldn't get into those games?
I mean, I played them. I played 2 of them. I didn't really
like them,
but I did play them.
Okay, that's fair. And yeah, just like I said, just building up my back catalog because I completely forgot that I have Atomic Heart, so I've been meaning to play that.
Yeah, that did look fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I should stream it or if I should just play it on my own. Who knows?
Honestly, just play it. Period.
Yeah, I think I probably will. But, yeah. Besides that, besides buying shit, of course, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. That game is fun. I can't really like say much more about it. Like it's just fun exploring. It's just fun doing whatever. Just fun fucking around, exploring, doing bullshit with Link. I did beat one of the temples, so I have accomplished that at least. Yeah, that's all I can say. And then I'm now traveling to a different temple, exploring the map. So probably be streaming more of Tears of the Kingdom. Oh fuck! I still have to go back and finish Mario plus Rabbids, the first one, because I'm actually near the end, and then I got to do the Donkey Kong stuff. But that's whatever. Don't worry about that. Uh, what else? Yeah, I haven't really played that much when it comes to video games. Just bought video games. Oh, the game that I'm debating on buying is Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Yeah, it's iffy.
I've been debating because like I've been seeing reviews that like it is fun somewhat, but it's a strategy based card game. And I keep hearing that the story is pretty weak at the beginning. Yeah.
What?
Have you seen?
Midnight Suns is a fucking card game?
Yeah, it's this weird strategy card game.
Wait, don't you play as characters though? Like, aren't you a physical character in that kind of?
You're playing as Marvel characters.
But you have cards to decide certain things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I would say look up gameplay for it, but like that's what it is. It's like a weird strategy hybrid card game.
Fuck it, it's probably good actually. I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
I hear the story is kind of like okay-ish, like at the beginning, and then it gets somewhat better towards the middle. But they added like more characters to it. I think like Deadpool, Venom, some other characters. I don't remember to like the DLC list, but I don't know how exactly that works. But yeah, I'm debating on whether or not to play that game because obviously I still want to get through my other strategy games that I'm playing through. Like I haven't finished Mutant Year Zero. I'm still on that, and I still got to do the DLC for that. But that game always kicks my ass, so I don't know when I'm getting back into that game because I'm playing Mario plus Rabbids as well. And I'm having an easier time with that, obviously, because it's more of a handholdy strategy game, but not to the extent of like, you know, being for babies. Like you still have to really think about what you're doing. Yeah, I just haven't really played that many other games. I did buy some backwards compatible shit for my Xbox now that I'm thinking about it, because I rebought Asura's Wrath.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The God fighting game?
Yeah. Asura's Wrath, some Tom Clancy games actually from the 360 era, which were actually pretty good. Like Rainbow Six Las Vegas. What was the other thing I bought? I don't know. I would have to look at my Xbox to see the list, but like, yeah, I've just been buying a shit ton of games to add to my back catalog because I am a crazy person. And yeah, that's basically video games for me. Movie and TV show wise, I'm still keeping up with Vinland Saga. I forgot today the newest episode came out, so I haven't seen it yet. I watched the movie Sisu.
Oh. How was it? I want to see it so bad.
It's an okay movie.
What? No, you're wrong.
Okay, well, I mean, you haven't seen it, but I've seen it, so your opinion's wrong.
Wow, I've been wrong this whole time.
No. So this is the thing: is that like the main plot of the movie is kind of nothing. But the only thing you get out of this movie is the action. That is the whole purpose of this movie. It's just the action. And if you like Nazis being killed in very various ways, that movie is basically it. So, but it's like, it's not a movie that I have to say that, oh my God, it's like the best movie in the whole world. Like the only thing that people talk about of this movie is the action, and that's it. So yeah, do what you want with that. But I have yet to watch John Wick 4. Like that's still one of my movies that I still have to see. There's a couple movies I still want to see, obviously. John Wick 4 being one of them. The new Dungeons and Dragons movie. And Evil Dead Rise is the other one. So hopefully
Evil Dead Rise I heard was really good, right?
I've been hearing, yeah, it's actually pretty alright. But you know, hopefully by next week I've seen those movies that I've been anticipating.
Yeah, let me know when you watch them.
Okay.
Not on streaming, right?
Yeah, I think
they are.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, then let me know what fucking thing they're on.
Okay, I'll let you know. What was the other thing? Oh, I was in the middle of watching a movie today. called The Bone Collector with Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
I haven't finished it. I'm only like not even midway in the movie, but
Bone collector.
Bone Collector, yeah. And it's interesting so far
What does he do?
because
Collects bones.
basically, but it's really weird for me to see Angelina Jolie as a cop because I'm like she's super fucking attractive in this movie. But still. And what else have I been watching? Oh, I've been binge watching a show uh called Barry.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
I need to watch it.
It's really fucking good. I was going into it with low expectations. It has exceeded my expectations. I think also on top of that, I think Bill Hader just has the perfect face for comedy. Because whenever he's like wide-eyed, it's just the funniest shit in the world. Yeah, I'm currently on season 3 and it's just been great. And like even like the finale episodes per seasons that I've seen, you know, season 1 and season 2 end really strong. So I'm just interested to see where Barry goes. Yeah, Barry. Fucking great ass show. Same thing with another show that I'm keeping up with, From. You know, the show about the people stuck in the town with the monster things. That show, huh?
No, I don't know that.
Okay. It's a very interesting show. I think I compared it to Lost last time we spoke about this.
Okay.
But it's still very weird and bizarre, and I don't know where it's headed to. Hopefully, it's not shit at the end.
Hey. Was that a dig at Lost, bro? Because I enjoyed Lost.
Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, I haven't seen Lost, so I can't.
God,
I haven't.
this guy hates
I,
Lost.
I haven't seen Lost, so I can't really make the comparison.
Yeah, I've never watched whatever you just said, so I don't really care. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay. That's fine. And I think that is it. Let me look at what I'm watching currently.
Dude, I need to watch Barry, bro. By the way, you should watch Ted Lasso if you can.
I probably should. I keep hearing good things about Ted Lasso.
It's really enjoyable.
Yeah. Oh, both Raid movies are on Netflix.
I have no idea what that means.
The Raid Redemption and the Raid 2.
I don't know those movies.
I really recommend the Raid.
Okay, Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. I would say watch the Raid Redemption, and if you like that movie, watch the Raid 2, obviously. But another movie that I was actually interested in Netflix is The King with Timothée Chalamet and Robert Pattinson. Where I think Timothée Chalamet is like the French king or the English king. I don't remember. He's a king. But he basically has to go up against Robert Pattinson. And I forgot that movie was produced by Brad Pitt's company, Plan B.
Not A.
Not A, just B. Even though it sounds like the morning after pill. Anyways. Yeah.
You know Brad Pitt celebrating baby death.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just fucking joking. Go ahead. What's up?
Wow. Podcast canceled.
Good. All right, bye.
All right. The other thing that I wouldn't say I got into, but like when I was cutting the grass this morning or this afternoon, I was listening to a true crime podcast called Morbid, and like I was listening to the first episode and they were talking about the Golden State Killer, and I didn't get too far into it. But yeah, I was listening to true crime podcast because I am a middle-aged housewife with 3 kids. So there be that. But yeah, nothing really else for me.
I mean, it sounds like a decent go of the week.
Yeah, not too bad. Like I said, I haven't really finished anything, or I'm just
we also did talk about it though before. Like a week is a week. Like,
yeah,
so.
because that was also the other thing when like whenever we do podcasts is just like I always wanted to finish a game beforehand so at least I can talk about the game, but it's kind of been a little bit more difficult because of the amount of stuff that's out. And on top of that, for me, it's just debating whether or not to make the game for me or the game for stream, and it's just like it really depends on that. But shows and TV and movie shit like that shit, I've just been obviously trying to get into. So now I have more shit to watch. So Honey Boy is there. Fucking what's the other one? Peanut Butter Falcon and Fury. So that's also part of my list of watching for movies. Oh, I did watch a little bit of Jonah Hill's movie. What is it called? 1990 or mid 90s? What is that movie called?
I have no idea.
Hold on, is it mid 90s? Yeah, mid 90s. I didn't know that it stars fucking Atreus.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I don't even know his name. Kid's name.
His name is Sonny Suljic. But yeah, he plays the main character, and like, I was watching a little bit of that movie, and I was like, holy shit! Like, it is. I do want to watch more of it, but I didn't get too far into it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Jonah Hill's directing debut, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, directing and writing debut. But I like that. I like that kid, Sonny Suljic. He's very he's very good from what I've seen in that movie. And this was the other thing. It kind of like does this thing about siblings, about like he has like an older brother that like kind of has disdain for him. And that's the thing is that like I don't know if I like that trope of like siblings hating each other, but then in reality it's like not that many older siblings get along with their younger sibling. And it's like, yeah, there's like a partial truth to it. And it's just like, man, it's kind of sad when you think about it. Yeah. But there's like a huge age gap between him and his older sibling in that movie. He's like I think he's like 11 or 12, and like his older sibling is like 18, almost 19. And there was a thing in that movie where like he buys his sibling like a CD, and it's from like a band that he likes, but his sibling just tosses it off to the side, and I'm like, damn, that there's a pain to that. And then there's a whole little sequence where like he's trying to like ask his brother for like his skateboard, but his brother's like, all right, but we gotta trade, what do you got? And he's like, I got my video game stuff. And he's like, all right, let me see what you got. So then he shows him all his video games, and he's like, that's not enough. And he's like, wait. And then he's like looking around his room to see what he could trade with his brother. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Oh man, but yeah, that was like the interesting part of that movie. It was just like the sibling dynamic. But I have yet to watch more of it. So, oh, and I was watching a little bit of the original Mad Max because I got it on Blu-ray, and I didn't get that far into it. I've only seen The Road Warrior and Fury Road, of course. So this box set that I got of Mad Max comes with like Mad Max 1, 2, 3, Fury Road, and a black and white edition of Fury Road. So I have yet to watch the first movie and the third movie. I've only watched a little bit of the first one, but still. And yeah, that's it. I can say that definitely. That was my week. All right. Do you want to take a break, or do you want to like run through all this?
Let's just go through it.
All right, let's run through it. So the first thing we could talk about, I guess, is the biggest change. Speaking of Netflix, so Netflix has initiated their password sharing crackdown, which will be, basically, if you want to add somebody new to your account, it's going to be $7.99 a month for an additional person. Goddamn Netflix. But funny enough, when I was booting up Netflix on my TV, my Netflix was just asking me like, "This TV part of your network?" Like basically, it was acting as like a cop, be like, "Is this TV part of your network?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And it's like, "Are you sure?" "Yeah." "All right, you say it's part of your network, so we believe you." for now. It's like, what the fuck is happening? I was being interrogated by fucking Netflix. Yeah, it's just it's kind of bullshit, but I think Netflix is at a point where like they're trying to find any specific way of getting more money because them expanding to video games and them also trying to buy out more IPs and shit like that. So trying to find a quick buck from Netflix.
Of course. I mean, I don't know. Got to make money. Is what it is.
Yeah. So
for this,
what happened?
I wrote down a bunch of stuff for the next one.
Okay. So besides Netflix, the other biggest thing that happened was the PlayStation Showcase. I already have my fucking reaction video up. But let's talk about these games that were announced at this showcase, or just, I guess, shown at the showcase that we kind of knew about. So the first thing they started off with was something that I did not give a shit about. I'm not going to lie. I did not give a shit about. It's called Fair Games.
Really? Oh, yeah, that's fair. Like, if you didn't...
It's Fair Games?
Yeah. I said it's fair if you didn't care about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you say game or games the first
Games.
time? Yeah, it's games. I mean, the S, I didn't pick it up right away. Because I was like, oh, is the money sign just to be like, because it's thievery shit, you know?
So what I think it is, it's supposed to be, what is that game called? Payback? Payday, excuse me. See, that's how much I don't know. But it's Payday, but with PvP aspects. So basically, you're trying to heist the heisters of heisting the heist.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, but I mean, it was all a CG trailer, so I don't know what the gameplay is, essentially. I don't know if it's going to be third person or first person, so who knows?
It'll most likely be first, but it could be over the shoulder third.
Yeah.
For sure, the CG looked good, as always. CG always looks good.
Always.
But like you just said, the idea of if it's good or not will become when it comes out, when you see the first gameplay trailer.
Yeah. I forget who's developing this.
I didn't write any of that shit down.
Yeah, I didn't write it down either. I have the video right here, but
the next one the one after that was Helldivers 2.
Yes, so that's also the funny thing. I played a little bit of Helldivers 1 a little bit.
How did you like it?
I didn't get through it too much. I would assume it's a lot more fun with friends, obviously, because it's a big co-op shooter game. But I forgot that it's made by the people that did Dead Nation and obviously Alien Nation, the other game that I bought this week. So it's a top-down shooter, twin stick shooter kind of, because it does like stuff with the triggers and like, there's also a little part of the gameplay of you basically call down stuff from like an orbital thing, and like you can use the stuff that it sends down to crush your enemies essentially. But I didn't get too far into the game. It's interesting, it's neat, but didn't get too far.
Just from the video I saw from Helldivers 2, because I don't know anything else. It looked interesting, but maybe not my style of game.
Because what is it, a third-person shooter?
Yeah, but like, I guess I would say like the ambiance is kind of like different from what I would be intrigued by, I guess.
So what I thought initially I thought it was a Starship Troopers game.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wait, Starship Troopers already has a game.
I almost thought Dune or something too.
Dune.
Not exactly that, but it's basically Starship Troopers, but I couldn't think of the name off the top of my head when I was watching it. I was like, Dune, and then like now that you said that, yeah, Starship Troopers.
Yeah, so I initially thought it was a Starship Troopers game, but it's like Helldivers 2, and then like here's the gameplay. I'm like, oh, like I've seen gameplay for Helldivers, and I'm like, this looks very different, and it's like, oh yeah, because it's not top-down shooter, it's a third-person shooter or first person. I don't remember. I have to look at that gameplay again, but like you can see the actual shooting happening. Well, and I mean you're above, but regardless, still it's a different camera perspective. So yeah, good luck for Helldivers 2, I say.
Immortals of Avium was the next one, and fucking I'm excited for this. I don't think it's gonna be great.
I don't think the story is gonna be anything good, but I think the gameplay wise,
not.
yeah, the gameplay looks pretty fun.
Visually, like thumbs up for like your character itself. The bad guys don't look great.
Yeah, they look very generic.
Right. And I think that's what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a very like simple game.
Mm.
Uh, but I do think the power combination with the spells is going to be cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever played a game called Magicka?
No, have you ever heard of a game called Battle Mage, Lichdom Battle Mage?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me of Lichdom.
So Magicka doesn't remind me of this, but the combination spells you were able to do in it, the game's ugly and terrible and clunky and whatever.
Oh wait, I
the
think
way-
I've heard of this game. Hold on, let me look this up.
Oh, you for sure know what it is. But the combination of spells you can do, I played with a friend, and you can like spell combined with, I believe, each other, and it's just so much fun. Like the combination, there's so many, and that's what I'm hoping that you get out of this is like some fun things to do with spells.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. I've seen this. Speaking of like wizard stuff, wizard action games, there's that wizard game. I forget what's it called, but it's like
Wizard 101.
no, it's like a wizard shooter.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it's not coming to mind right now, but it's like pixel art. You're doing like cool spells. You're doing like a dash as well. It's like I forget what's it called. I got a wizard game. Oh, Wizards of Legend or Wizard of Legend.
Mhm.
That game looks pretty cool. But I never played it.
There's also a game called like Cowboy Wizards or something, which is funny.
That's funny.
Um,
But Immortals of Avium.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm not like overly excited. I'm just like, I can't. Not that I can't wait. I will be happy to see it.
So ears to the ground, basically, for you.
No, I'm just like thumbs up when it comes out.
Okay. Yeah, it looks interesting. I think that the shooting gameplay, obvious of it, looks pretty fun. But yeah, like we could both agree upon that like the story is probably not going to be anything too crazy. Yeah.
It's gonna be like, oh no, the wizard has taken Princess.
There's literally a moment where the main character is like, "You killed my family, evil wizard man. I'm going to kill you now." And it's like, okay, cool.
By the way, that's kind of how the story feels in Wayfinder right now.
Oh,
literally,
yeah.
like in the beta thing, like when there's supposed to be a cutscene, the words placeholder come up in the screen.
Oh Jesus.
It's not done yet. It's completely like
Yeah.
maybe alpha. They say beta, but it feels more like
Okay, that's fair.
Ghost Runner 2 showed up and you called it. You were like, "This looks like Ghost Runner."
Yeah, I literally had that moment. I was just like, "This looks like Ghost Runner."
Yeah, I watched this on my own actually before that, and I did the same exact thing. I was like, "This looks like Ghost Runner." It's like, okay, it is.
Damn, Ghost Runner's having clones. Oh, it's just Ghost Runner.
It was really cool though when the motorcycle went off the side and just started going down the building.
Yeah, and then you see gameplay of like the motorcycle sections. I'm like, oh wow, they're really expanding on that. And I'm like, but I never played Ghost Runner 1. Ghost Runner 1. I have it, but
Bro,
I never played
break
it.
it out. It's fun. It's not great, but
yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. It's a pretty good game.
Yeah. The story's ass, bro.
Yeah, I could imagine.
You'll be like, oh, digital monsters,
Digimon, Ghost Runner, Digimon. But yeah, it looks neat.
Phantom Blade Zero, which
You say I'm really interested in this game because I really like the high flying wuxia stuff. It looks weird because it reminds me of Ninja Gaiden, the Ninja Gaiden Black specifically, and a little bit of Sekiro, but obviously with more Chinese like lore, and then like the wuxia stuff. The one thing that caught me, like I was like, oh shit, that looks cool, is when you're fighting. Your main character's fighting the dude, but he uses like double swords, and he's like low to the ground, and he starts like swiping at his feet. I was like, oh shit, that's cool as fuck. Oddly enough, this company that's doing this game, I think they're called Cruel Man Studio. They've done like mobile games, and this is their first time breaking out of mobile stuff. So I don't know how the fuck this game's gonna work because there was a lot of instances in that trailer that looked like, is this gameplay or is this a cutscene? So I have no idea. But for me personally, I think I'm a little bit more interested for this game. because it looks kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, maybe when I see more, I'll like really be interested in it. But right now, I'm not.
If I see a HUD, that's my main concern. If I see an actual HUD and like the character moving, nothing CG trailer, nothing of that. If there's actual legit gameplay, because I'm going to assume that some of this was gameplay, but anything these days can be CG trailer or like,
Right.
yeah. But I'm a little interested in this. I think what caught me a little bit was the start of that game where you just have a narrator being like, what will you do if you only had 66 days to live? And I'm like, okay, go on.
Buffalo wings.
Yeah, just eat buffalo wings.
No, I'll try to put wings on a buffalo, bro.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's different. But you got 66 days, so good luck with that.
Don't worry about it. The next game, which I am super excited for,
Because you love Journey.
You already fucking know, you piece of shit. Is Sword of the Sea.
Yeah.
I put little happy faces next to this one because I'm so fucking excited for this. Now it's a different company making it, so like.
Is it? I thought it was the same company.
No, that game company is not making it.
The Journey company?
The Journey company is that game company. That's their name.
Oh,
that's not the company making it. Giant Bomber, Giant Games, or something is making.
Giant Squid Games, I think is what they're
Thank
called.
You, that one.
Yeah, Giant Squid Studios. What else have they done? Hold on. Okay, Abzu and the Pathless. That's the games that they've done.
All right, so it was good. We'll see how it is. Visually, it looks like Journey, so that's why I'm mostly excited. The part that'll really fucking make me sad is if the story's bad.
Well, I think it's gonna obviously be more Journey-ish or Abzu-ish, because like those games were more show, not really telling. Mm-hmm. I don't know about the Pathless. I think the Pathless has a bit of a narrative, but I have no idea. But yeah, the company is founded from the art director of Flower and Journey. So obviously that's why it looks like Journey, because it's the art director. And yeah, the lead designer for Journey and the composer of Journey. So that makes sense.
The Talos Principle 2 is the next one.
You ever play the Talos Principle 1?
I own it. I never played it, but the reason I own it is because it's puzzle solving, just like what is the Room games I love.
Yeah.
So similar to that, and I fucking love these games, dude. So yeah. I need to go play Talos Principle 1, but the second one, that video, God, it looks great.
Funny enough, I keep hearing that Talos Principle actually has a good narrative, and it's weird because I kept comparing Talos Principle 1 to The Witness, if you ever played The Witness. But The Witness is a fucking hard-ass puzzle game.
I think I played, like, I call it 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, there's legit moments in The Witness where I'm just like, I could not figure it out because I'm bad at puzzles. But I feel like what I've been hearing is that the Talos Principle does have hard puzzles, but it's a little bit more forgiving. But yeah, but I hear the narrative is actually legitimately pretty good. Legitimately. So yeah, I like puzzle games. I like room solving games. I played The Room 1 and 2.
Did you?
3? Yeah, I did.
Yo, did you like the story? Like
when it gets.
It's not great, but it's like it's fun.
The weird eldritch shit. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
They're like, what happened? And then they like time shift you, and you're like, what the fuck?
And then Cthulhu, possibly. I don't know.
When they started taking me through time, I was like, come on. Like, this. Who decided like time had to be inside of a like
room escape?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fucking fun though, man. Love those games.
It's fun. I don't think I started 3. I have yet to start.
I think I beat 3 and I'm on 4.
Okay. I have yet to start 3.
I think I'm better than you. Just
I can solve rooms better than you, bro. It's like, all right, thanks. What else we got? We got Neva by the studio behind Gris or Gris. Gracias. You ever played Gris or know anything about Gris?
Gris, no. It's Gris. It's GRIS.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a Spanish studio, so like Gris.
Wait, Gris.
Yeah, gray.
Like, is that what they would say?
Gris.
Am I retarded? Am I mentally challenged? Am I dumb? Am I stupid?
I don't know. I
My
think
brain tiny?
uh
Anything else I can add to this?
hold on, because like I don't know, because I've been hearing like this game like the pronunciation of this name like different. Yeah, it's a Spanish developer. I would assume is
Wait, for which game is this? What we're talking about?
Greece or
Oh,
Greece.
for what game though?
Oh,
Like,
Niva.
oh, okay, yeah. Man, I don't even remember this honestly. I want to say this looked okay.
Yeah, I mean we don't see any gameplay for it, but it's by the
Next
same
game's grenades, bro. This shit look dumb.
Cat Quest.
Don't even say you like don't.
I haven't played it. I own them, but I haven't played
swear
it.
to fucking God.
They look
No,
cute.
no, nope. I'm not doing this with you.
You know, just to spite you, I'm gonna play this game. I'm gonna be like, this is my game, 10 out of 10, game of the
I
year.
hope Twitch bans you.
Good.
No cats on my fucking watch.
But I have Cat Quest 1 and 2, and I hear that they're pretty okay games. So
Oh my God.
I don't.
Yeah, if you're fucking 3 years old.
Maybe I am. You ever thought about that?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Cat Quest, Niva.
To be fair, if you enjoy it, whatever. But I'm
Yeah.
still gonna hate.
Just on the back to Niva, it's just like they had that old opening cutscene of like the wolf deer thing dying, and then you have a wolf deer puppy, and that's basically it.
Okay.
And then fucking somebody called Nintendo because fucking Foam Stars.
Stars. Oh my God. When I saw this, that's like, I didn't think you were gonna say anything about it, but like, holy shit, is that just such a fucking bite off of Nintendo? I wonder if they hope they're gonna make as much of an impact.
I mean, I guess with the whole like terrain stuff, because you know when you throw the foam, it creates terrain. So it's like I guess that's a bit of the difference between Splatoon.
This feels like a PlayStation All Stars though, like where they just tried to grab from
The
Nintendo.
the character designs look fucking generic. I don't like the character designs. I
and the
don't.
voices are.
Oh my god, it's weird. It feels like they probably outsourced to a different like company. I don't know, but I mean it says Square Enix, so I don't fucking know. But Square Enix at this point is trying to like grab whatever they can grab. So why not do I guess a hero shooter / Splatoon game, which is wild. Because now that I think of it, like there hasn't been really any Splatoon clones until now. Well, Foam Stars. The thing that actually got me excited was Plucky Squire, because I forgot that game exists. Do you remember this game?
No idea.
Okay.
I remember the thing for it, but I've never. I don't know what Plucky Squire is itself.
Plucky Squire is basically Link Between Worlds. You remember that 3DS game?
I know what that is.
Where you're like 2D Link, and then you get out of the 2D and you become 3D Link. It's basically Plucky Squire is that, where you're like it's in a storybook 2D, and then you can get out of the storybook and do like 3D stuff. It looks neat. I get really excited for that game. But I think it got delayed, what I've been hearing. All right, moving on. Teardown. You know anything about Teardown?
All my friends really wanted to play this when it was on PC, and now that they're happy, it's coming
to PS5.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Good little like casual game to play around.
Yeah. I think I was planning on buying it on PC, but I just never did. But yeah, Teardown looks really fun because like they gives you some objectives to do, and like basically you tear down like the area that you're in, and it looks pretty neat. But everybody shut up. Shut up. Metal Gear Solid is back, baby. Bro, I was losing my fucking mind.
Yeah. Is it good?
Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
As a game?
Is it good?
You never played it?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, I was gonna say
I really played this one.
okay. Well, according to this thing, it's what I've been hearing is that it's actually pronounced Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a
Uh,
remake, right?
yeah, it's technically a remake, but what I've been seeing is that apparently Konami's bringing back the original voice cast. So David Hayter's coming back. No, not Jennifer Hale. Shit, a bunch of old Metal Gear Solid 3 voice actors are coming back for this game. It is a remake of Snake Eater, but they're planning on making it more expansive when it comes to the levels. So this is a lot of like hearsay of what they're planning on doing. Who knows what's gonna actually happen? And it's weird because it's like obviously this is a Metal Gear game without Kojima, but there was a whole interesting thing of somebody put out a Twitter thing of like Kojima's opinions on Metal Gear. And this was like years ago. I think this was like way before he got fired. But essentially, like, I think Kojima really wanted out from Konami and specifically not making more Metal Gear stuff. And I feel like at that point in his career, he was forced to make more Metal Gear stuff because of how successful that series
Oh, of
is
course.
and was. So I feel like he was kind of in a rut, and I think him leaving was kind of a good place for him, or him getting fired essentially was a good place for him because it's like now he has the ability to do more creative things and not be stuck to one specific series. Because like Death Stranding was like the biggest like fucking like what the fuck are we doing here? Even though I really like that game, and then now he's doing the sequel for that. It's like he gets to expand a little bit more in his fucking crazy goofy shit. Um, but yeah, it's just interesting to see Metal Gear Solid without him. Who knows how it's going to be, because obviously you had Konami try to do a Metal Gear game without him, and that was Metal Gear Survive. So do what you wish with that information.
Uh, Power of Agaba.
Now I was about to say, hold on.
My bad.
But then after that announcement, you got the Metal Gear Solid Volume 1 Master Collection, which consists of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3.
I didn't know if that was a announcement or if they were reminding people it was for sale still.
That's not out.
Right. That's why I said I didn't know.
Oh, okay. No, because there was a whole thing that happened where Metal Gear Solid got delisted, specifically Snake Eater, for a good bit because nobody knew what the fuck was happening. So then there were speculations for this remake happening as to like why they were delisting Metal Gear Solid 3. But now it's coming to PlayStation 5. I don't know whether or not this is going to be up-resed or anything like that. These are definitely not like remakes. These are possibly hopefully remasters, not necessarily ports, but we have to wait until it comes out. I think August is autumn, I think it said. And that's the thing. I've been meaning to go back and replay through Snake Eater and Metal Gear Solid, but just all the Metal Gear Solid games, to be honest. But here's hoping that the Master Collection is decent or good at least. And then there is that chance of Volume 2 being Metal Gear Solid 4, Peace Walker, and I don't know if they're going to do 5. It's weird because 5 is technically an unfinished game. But who knows? And then yeah, that's it. All right, that's it for Metal Gear Solid. But everybody shut up though. So what were you talking about? Towers of what?
Agaba.
Agaspa? What is this again?
Oh, there's an S in there.
Yeah, there's an S. What is this? Towers of Agaspa?
I don't remember, honestly.
Hold on, let me try to find this out because I do not remember anything from that because I was genuinely freaking out from fucking Metal Gear Solid. Oh yes, the thing that kind of looks like Breath of the Wild, but with like very weird art style.
Yeah,
that looks neat because like you're also planting like trees and life and stuff like that, and like the world looks very alien. Yeah, that game looks cool. It reminded me of another game, a PS3 game, but I don't remember what. I don't remember it. And then the other thing is more Final Fantasy 16 trailer. Still excited for that game.
Hell yeah, dude. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. You get to punch people with Ifrit. That's cool.
No, that's dumb.
And I'm all in for it. Speaking of all in for it, fucking Alan Wake 2, we get to see
Oh,
gameplay finally. And bro, they're expanding on the fucking horror shit because holy fuck.
yeah, it looks really interesting as far as that CG went. The trailer.
Yeah. I was losing my mind because fucking Sam Lake shows up. Fucking the original model for Max Payne.
Oh, okay. No, I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah, that's why I was losing my mind. Because Sam Lake is the writer and the director and the facial model for Max Payne. And he's also the writer and director for Alan Wake. Seeing him in there because do you know the whole like basis of Alan Wake? Like basically Alan Wake wrote Max Payne.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was like a whole thing of like technically Max Payne wrote the character Max Payne, excuse me. Alan Wake wrote the character of Max Payne in his world, but because of the whole thing with Rockstar, he wasn't technically Max Payne. He was technically a different character, but all the elements were Max Payne. So it's just this whole thing of like with the world of Alan Wake, it's like writing the actual character to life, which is the interesting part. And then Control, that game, talks about the shit that happens in Alan Wake. That's why Control is such an interesting game because it's like, oh yeah, the events of Alan Wake is because of the shit that's happening in Control. It's wild. They essentially created their own little like game universe, Remedy.
Interesting.
So
I don't know. I didn't play a lot of their games. I've watched Alan Wake. I played half of it.
that's fair. It's a good game. I like it. Like I said, I have yet to finish that remaster because I only started it up. But I really like Alan Wake and I really like American Nightmare. But America. But either way, this whole trailer for Alan Wake 2 looks fucking great because it looks like they're really expanding on the horror shit that I'm pretty sure they were planning on doing for Alan Wake 1. Cause that fucking like silhouette with the red light and like popping up like different arms and shit with fucking sickles. I was like, oh shit. Or was it sickles? Or they had something in their hands, but like it's just like multiple hands coming out. Looked really cool. Visually, it looks really interesting. And then after that, we got Assassin's Creed Mirage. You like Assassin's Creed?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't care about Assassin's Creed. It looks good. I again don't really care about it, which like I'm sorry that I don't care about a lot of this.
Yeah, you hate it.
I don't know. There is an Assassin's Creed that they're making. I can't remember. It's the Witchcraft one, but they like only showed like
Oh, Hex.
visual. Yeah, it looks interesting as far as like
Well, they didn't really show anything.
what picture they showed. Okay, so like the visual was cool. The ideas that I have in my own head of what it could be is what I'm interested in for.
So I know what you're interested in because of that concept was interesting. I think they talked about it a little bit for Hex. It's like, oh, it's during the witch hunt. It's like, okay, that's neat. But they showed nothing. They just showed a teaser and that was it.
Right. So yeah, you get what I'm saying then.
Yeah. But apparently Assassin's Creed
thought, but like I'm excited.
Okay. Well, the thing is with Assassin's Creed Mirage is that like I legitimately thought that this looks like you could have remade fucking Assassin's Creed 1, but obviously this is based on a character that appeared in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Basim, I think his name is. But I haven't played Valhalla, so I have no idea. So it looks neat. If it's gonna be, because I think the other thing that Ubisoft was saying is that they're planning on having this game be a lot smaller and a lot more condensed compared to the other Assassin's Creed games, which to be fair, that's why I haven't started Valhalla, because me playing open world stuff, I go in really hard. So I'm a little afraid to start up Valhalla because of the amount of shit that's in that game. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage looks interesting. What do we got next?
Revenant Hill.
Okay, yes. So I heard a little bit about this. Have you ever played Night in the Woods?
No.
So this is by the same studio that did Night in the Woods. Essentially, that's like a weird like mystery game. That I hear is actually pretty good, but I never got into it. Essentially the premise of this game is like the witch trial, not witch trials, but like a witch hunt kind of thing happening during the industrial era, and basically you just kind of go from there. It's supposed to be like a narrative thing as well, but the art style looks very Night in the Woods, because everybody saw that cat, and the main character from Night in the Woods is a cat. So there's that. And what happened?
I said I got you.
Okay. So what we got next is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
This looks really cool. I just know I'm not gonna enjoy playing it.
So this game has a weird development like story behind it. So this game was being developed by Platinum Games, and then it got canned because the studio, I think it was Bandai, saw it and was like, "We don't like what you're doing, Platinum, so you're completely off this game." So it had to be redone again. And I forget who the studio behind this is. I think it might be CyberConnect too. I don't remember. But yeah, this game basically looks like an action game. Looks neat. Looks all right. I thought it was like Monster Hunter-esque for one point, but who knows? But I know nothing about the Grand Blue Fantasy series. The fighting game looks cool, but that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, and just like Street Fighter 6, speaking of fighting games, they just wanted to re-announce Street Fighter 6 again. Be like, yeah, we got a whole story mode happening for Street Fighter 6. Yeah. Street Fighter 6.
Zero Squad was the next one. This is when it started to get into VR.
Oh,
Oh no, wait, sorry, you said fuck.
Wow.
Street Fighter 6 is I started writing them on the side. It's my bad.
Okay. So then we
Voltros, right?
Ultros, yeah.
My bad, dude.
Ultros. Which is that side scrolling platformer that's very reminiscent of Hollow Knight, but looks like you're on an acid trip. Yeah, that game's scary. Don't play that game on acid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks neat. And then you got Tower Fantasy, which I thought was a fucking like Genshin Impact Hoyo verse fucking shit. Apparently it's not, but it is. I think it's made by a Chinese company.
Okay, I did look kind of like that though.
Yeah, and then
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, fuck everything else because we got gameplay for Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh, what, you're excited for that?
I'm weirdly excited for it.
Okay. I mean, again, never played. Didn't really enjoy the game, but like, it was fine watching someone else play it.
I played a good amount. I remember I mentioned this like on one of the podcast episodes because I was playing through Dragon's Dogma 1, and Dragon's Dogma 1 is weird because it's a very jank game. It is incredibly jank, but it's weirdly fun once you get into it. The thing that was obviously holding this game back was budgetary reasons, because that was also another thing that the director Hideaki Itsuno talked about, the director behind Devil May Cry 3 and 4 and 5, because this was his passion project, but you know, he was cut with fucking budgetary restraints, so he wasn't able to make the game that he wanted to make. And because of the success of Devil May Cry 5, now he's able to create the game that he wanted to from Dragon's Dogma. So seeing this game and then seeing like all the CG stuff of, not even CG, but like even gameplay and like some cutscene stuff of like the fucking RE engine going to work, it looks wild. It looks so wild, and I'm like, this game's gonna be jank as well. And I'm hoping it refines itself a little bit. But Dragon's Dogma 1 is very weird because like once I got to the end game, it was very bizarre because there's this whole other like dungeon that you go to that like the final boss you can beat, but then there are also like other terms on like how you can get to like the secret version of that final. It's very weird. It's a very weird like end game DLC stuff, and it's just very bizarre. But overall, I would say Dragon's Dogma 1 is pretty fun, but it, like I said, is one of those jank games. So I would say, yeah, play the Dark Arisen version of Dragon's Dogma. But it's weird because like the PC version is like, I think it's 60 frames, while the PS4 and Xbox one versions are like 30 frames. So like it really depends on which version you want to play. Because like I got that game originally on the PS3, and even back then that game was like super super jank, and like a lot of like there was like items for like traveling to fast travel through certain areas, and it was just really weird. There was like really really weird mechanics for that game, but it had really neat ideas, to be fair. So Dragon's Dogma 2,
Probably be good, I'm sure.
I'm hoping. Now we get into VR stuff. Take it away.
So the first view, I'm sorry, dude. The first one was Five Nights at Freddy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I didn't know this was VR first until I saw the Help Wanted 2, and I was like, "Oh, is this where the?" Yeah, so it was. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So VR Five Nights at Freddy, whatever.
FNAF.
It's the sequel to the first one, I guess, that they made. I didn't even know there was first.
I didn't even know there was a first one either.
So I mean that's self-explanatory. It's whatever.
Yeah.
The next one was Resident Evil 4 VR mode. I mean,
Looks good.
I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, it looks good. I didn't realize that they were actually going to take Resident Evil 4 remake and like do VR mode. I mean, it still looks pretty cool because you get to do the knife parries and shit.
Yeah, I don't. You had, I think, some issues with 7.
Oh yeah, because I got motion sickness.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't know like how you felt about this one. That's all I meant.
Well, the real question is whether or not I'm going to get a PSVR 2 for this. Yeah. But that's also the other thing is that I'm going to have to double dip on Resident Evil 4 because I bought it on PC. So I would have to get it for PS5. Yeah. And then we got a weird CG trailer from Arizona Sunshine 2.
Yeah.
That was weird.
It looked okay to me.
No, but the thing is that that's CG. Like they try to like imitate gameplay, which it was not. It was very weird. I don't know anything about Arizona Sunshine 1. So
No idea either.
Yeah. And then fuck everything else because we got Crossfire Sierra Squad.
Yeah, sorry about that, by the way. I was a little early.
Yeah.
Betty.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it looks okay. It's a shooter. It's a military shooter. So I don't really have any words for it. The one interesting thing from the VR thing was Synapse, which looks like a roguelike VR shooter.
Yeah, Synapse looked pretty cool to me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna touch any VR shit, man.
I said, it really depends whether or not I decide to buy a fucking.
I'm not buy. I know I won't buy one. I just know that.
Still,
if I buy VR, it's gonna be Hive, dude.
It's still expensive. That's the problem. Is that like fucking PSVR? Yeah,
right.
PSVR 2 is the fucking equivalent to buying a fucking PS5. So, I know like Sony's planning on doing their like sale relatively soon because they always do it every June, but I probably wait till like Black Friday to see what the price goes for this thing. But the one thing about Synapse I wanted to mention is that like the reason why it kind of caught me a little bit was because the main character talking to your character was Jennifer Hale, and I was like, oh, that's cool, Jennifer Hale. And then the main bad guy is fucking David Hayter, the fucking voice of Solid Snake, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I just keep hearing him talk, and I'm like, that's fucking Snake. Like I just can't get it out of my head. It was so goofy. I'm happy to hear him again in fucking Metal Gear Solid Delta. So, yeah. Then after that, we got Beat Saber with the Queen pack, which I'm pretty sure fucking DMCA'd my shit for all I know. And then after yeah, go ahead.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. And then after that, not Destiny, Bungie coming out with Marathon.
Yeah, we'll see.
What are your thoughts?
I'll probably play it.
Are you a big Marathon fan?
I don't even know. I've never fucking heard much about it.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, it was a Mac game back in the day.
No, I've never played it though.
Yeah, because it was Mac only.
True, I didn't have a Mac back in the day.
But weirdly enough, so I've been hearing reports that apparently this thing is a You know the game Escape from Tarkov?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the original, right? Or now it's gonna be just like it.
Yeah, essentially the gameplay is that, like
Yeah,
Escape from Tarkov.
which I'm not mad at.
I never played it. I hear pretty all right things about Escape from Tarkov, besides the player base, because I hear it's kind of toxic. But
Toxic.
yeah,
Yeah, low Call of Duty esque.
yeah, a little bit. But
Probably not as bad as League, but you know whatever. You
fair,
can't be as good as us.
fair. When it comes to toxicity,
Yeah. The toxicity of our city.
city of our city.
Oh, I'm glad you know that. Anyways, yeah.
So yeah, Marathon coming back, making a comeback.
Marathon, she's coming.
And speaking of Bungie, fucking Destiny 2, the final shape.
Yeah,
What do you-
that's the DLC has been already named, already known, and all that. The part that everyone was freaking out about was the character they showed. It's Cade Six,
Yeah,
and he's
Nathan
been
Fillion.
dead. Yeah, he's been dead.
Yeah. So I have no idea. I saw Robot Man. I was like, oh yeah, Robot Man. And then they showed a fucking trailer for Concord, which I have no idea what that is. I think there were reports on what the game was, but I didn't look too far into it.
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to the studios. I don't really care, to be fair.
Yeah.
Wait,
There's-
where did I write this down?
Did you write it down?
Did I go to another page?
Check your notes.
Oh yeah, Concord. Oh, I got the next part. I want to say the next part.
The game or the other thing?
The other thing. Wait, what's the Concord and then what else? Oh, yeah,
Before-
you can say the game and then I'll do the thing. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just about to say the thing before they announced the final game.
Wait, did the
Project
hardware things come first?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll say the hardware things if you don't care.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm like, oh my god, they have PS earbuds. Oh my god.
They did it, yo. They finally did it. PS earbuds.
And then
But-
Project U, which no one cares about.
It's essentially a fucking cloud streaming device.
Well, it's cloud streaming in your house, technically. Like
It's so
that's-
weird.
what they sounded like they were marketing it for, you probably could play it from somewhere else, but it will probably be horrible.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. Cuz like I remember somebody was like, "Oh, it's like the PSP." I'm like, "No, it's not." No, it is not. That is a fucking screen to stream cloud games off of. What's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Literally
anyways,
was remote play over Wi-Fi.
yep. I
which
already
remote play is from your goddamn system.
yeah. So it's like there's really
I don't
no point.
That really pissed me off
Yeah.
because it's not as good as Nintendo. So like, why even fucking put it out there? It's nowhere near the Steam Deck, like at all, nowhere, 0% chance it's like Steam Deck at all.
Yeah, it's just a cloud streaming device. That's all it is. It's not an actual hardware thing. It's just cloud.
No, yeah,
streaming.
it literally feels like what Nintendo did with the old Wii U.
The gamepad. Yeah,
It just feels like a gamepad.
I guess. Yeah, but at
I
least
don't
and-
It was
but,
an aggravating announcement to me.
but at least it served a purpose though. The gamepad.
No, yeah, you're right. It's just again like disappointing as fuck that they weren't like, here's something cool. Instead, they were like, here's a mediocre item.
It's I don't know. I
I
don't
would have
know.
rather seen a new PSP.
Oh my god, can you imagine?
I wouldn't
you
have been
imagine?
mad.
I wouldn't have been mad either. I would have been like, "Fuck, let's go, PSP."
Yeah, but you
8.
wouldn't have been able to play anything else on it but the new PSP game.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And then everything's like locked behind that fucking little console thing. Yeah, and then we got the final game. Gameplay for Spider-Man 2. Too many
Wow,
Spider-Man.
I wanted to say it. I'm mad, sad.
Well, too many Spider-Man. That's all it is.
I do love that joke, by the way. Too many Spider-Man.
It's fucking great. So good.
Yeah.
But cool. All I have to say is cool about that trailer. There was a actual moment within watching that trailer. I was like, this gameplay looks fake. But it's like, yeah, I think it could actually probably be true because Insomniac knows how to work around that fucking PS5 shit. So
Yeah. I mean, when Logan comes out, it'll be better than Spider-Man, but you know, whatever.
yeah, Logan will stab Spider-Man. He'd be like, "Get out of here, bub," and then Wolverine Yeah.
I hate you.
But yeah, Spider-Man 2 looks cool. I really like the fact they open up with the symbiote suit for
I was
Peter.
not expecting that either, by the way. I wasn't expecting Spider-Man, I think. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't.
I kind of was because I was like, they haven't shown anything about Spider-Man 2, and it's been almost a year.
I honestly thought we were going to get it at the Game Awards.
So that's the other thing is that like Game Awards is happening June 8th, so there's a lot more announcements. I think one of the one of the rumors is gameplay for Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yep. I think, right. Sure.
But I don't know. I don't think we're gonna see anything about Logan for like a good while.
What? No. What? It has to be at the fucking Game Awards.
Unless fucking Insomniac has a B team, I have no idea. Because I feel like they're putting a lot of
Bro.
What?
I hope they have a C team.
Maybe. Who knows? But that means that game will be bad then.
Good. I love bad Logan game.
Alright. I mean, we got X-Men Origins Wolverine, so
Fuck you.
yeah, but Spider-Man 2 looks great. I really like the idea that you can switch between Miles and Peter. But I wonder how it's going to work in open world and how they're going to make it different from one another. Like, what is Miles going to have compared to Peter? Obviously, the powers is like the biggest thing because the symbiote suit for Peter, and then you have Miles's Venom powers, which is also very goofy to talk about because it's just his electric powers. But I'm very curious as to see what they do. I know the biggest thing that's going to be part of that story is that Miles is going to have to fight Peter. Most definitely.
Peter's so angry.
He's so angry because Alien is on his suit, and it makes him angry. But yeah, still very excited. Coming out when did they say?
I thought it was like July. No,
I don't remember. I think it's like September. Hold on.
It's coming out this year.
It's coming out this year, yeah. So that's what I'm saying is that like I have no idea what they're doing about Logan, because that would be interesting at the fact.
2024 is when that's coming out.
Okay, Logan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be next year.
Okay. Yeah, because at this point I feel like Spider-Man is basically almost done.
I'm saying we should see something. For
Game
that,
Awards.
it's coming out next year. It's gotta be close.
I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see at the Game Awards.
For sure.
Yeah. And yeah, that's it for the PlayStation Showcase. Oh,
it was decent. I don't think anything like overly great came out of it.
So this is the other thing. I've been seeing rumors on Twitter from like other sources saying that like Sony basically held back on their own event. Like they had more stuff to announce, but they chose not to. So I have no idea. Maybe they had Logan. Maybe they had Wolverine. But who knows? We'll never know.
Wove his claws together.
So let's get into the other news. So speaking of Alan Wake 2, developer Remedy decided that they will not be shipping physical versions of Alan Wake 2. It's going to be digital only.
Interesting.
The reasoning is because they feel like the game should stick to its $60 price point, $50 on PC, because they feel like shipping costs for physical games is going to make the costs of this thing more, so they don't want to make it the $70 price point. They went on for like other reasonings as to why they feel like digital is like the better idea of selling it, but it just felt like not that great of an explanation, but it's still bizarre. Some people are discussing that this might be the end of physical media, but I don't think that's the case, to be honest. It's just you see a lot of other games go for digital and eventually go physical at some point, but who knows? But yeah, the reasoning for it being digital only was just the weirdest shit from Remedy, so that's a shame.
Yeah. I don't know this next one, by the way. I didn't read this. I'm sorry.
The David Arbor.
Yeah, I didn't read it. My bad.
So, Alone in the Dark. You ever played Alone in the Dark?
No.
Alone in
the Dark by myself, yeah, but I've never played Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, I know you are. Alone in the
God.
Alone in the Dark is a very old survival horror game. It actually predates Resident Evil.
Okay.
So it has fixed camera angles, survival horror aspects, and it is set in a mansion, funny enough. So this thing that I put up is Alone in the Dark has been remade, the first one. And it stars Jodie Comer and David Arbor. And basically they play the main characters. And if you looked at the spotlight thing that I think I posted up, it is essentially their version of Resident Evil 2 remake, because it feels very reminiscent of Resident Evil 2 remake. But the interesting part about this is that they basically got like some of the original people that worked on Alone in the Dark, the first one, the original one, back to do this remake. So looks neat. That's all I can say. Gameplay wise, it looks neat as well, because it looks like Resident Evil 2 remake, but still, David Arbor and Jodie Comer. Comer. I really recommend you look at that spotlight video that I put down in the Discord, because it looks pretty neat. The other cool part was that they put a prologue demo for everything, so you can see how the game plays. But you play as like a little girl character.
Little girl.
Yeah, you play a little girl. I have yet to play it. I downloaded it on PC, so I have wanted to check it out before we started the podcast, but I just didn't. So
okay.
Yeah. Alone in the Dark.
Alone.
Because you like David Arbor. You like Hopper.
I do. You're right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. And then this other thing we got, speaking of actors and shit. So I didn't know about this. There's a planned I Am Legend 2 happening?
Bro, I don't know where the fuck you found this.
I just found it. No, because like I just found this on here. Well, apparently, okay. So let's give some more background as to what we're talking about. So this game called Undone, which is a mobile game from a Chinese company, will, according to this article, says is going to emulate the I Am Legend 2 movie, because it has something to do with like monsters and stuff like that. But
quite literally, like, Will Smith is in it?
Yeah, Will Smith's likeness is in this game.
Crazy. His slap really took him all the way to China.
Infinite Level. Level Infinite. That's a Chinese company. Yeah. And Lightspeed Studios. So it is a mobile game. It has monsters. I have no idea what the fuck this game is. I think it's a third-person shooter mobile thing, but I also found out that apparently I Am Legend 2 is a thing that's happening, which works on the alternate the alternate ending of I Am Legend, which you've seen that movie, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the alternate ending?
Fuck no.
Will Smith lives.
I know he's alive, yeah.
No, he dies in the original movie.
He's alive in real life.
Yeah, he slapped that guy. Anyways.
Yeah. Chris Smith got slapped by Will Smith. It's crazy.
Yeah, Chris Smith. Chris Rock.
No, I didn't see the alternate ending. He's alive, so obviously it makes sense that he'd be in a second one. So it's going to work off of that?
Yeah, but that's the weird thing. Nobody knows about the alternate ending. So,
I would say like a good amount of people probably didn't watch that.
Yeah, I mean, I Am Legend is not particularly the best movie. It's somewhat enjoyable. I like some of the...
Who knows? This might fucking be a dope-ass game.
Yeah, I mean, if you like mobile shooters, sure, I guess.
Oh my god, they're my favorite.
Yeah, okay, see? You might like it.
I'm gonna buy it right when it comes out, bro.
But yeah, it's just so weird to have Will Smith's face in a mobile game that's supposed to emulate I Am Legend 2. I have no idea. I have no fucking clue. I looked at this trailer because it just says Undone cross Will Smith, and then I look at the gameplay. It's just like, yeah, Will Smith's face, and then these weird monster things. I always said that like the original book of I Am Legend is far more interesting than any other adaptation, because I read that book and it's pretty good. No, that actually reminds me. The show From feels more I Am Legend than any of the I Am Legend adaptations. That's the wild part. But still. You don't read books. I know you don't. You hate
No, you're right.
books.
I've never read that book.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, I'm sweating. I can't think of books off the top of my head. Oh God, I really can't. Holy shit. Shakespeare.
Great. Yep, that's a book. But yeah, did I ever tell you like what the premise of I Am Legend originally is?
No, what
Or
the original was.
basically, it's a man stuck in his home. He can't leave his house because vampires are like outside his house.
Okay.
Yeah, and they basically like taunt him the entire time. So it.
Like emoting and teabagging.
Wait, what are you watching?
No, well, I'm saying like the vampires are emoting at like a video game. Like
Oh.
they're
I thought you were watching the Undawn trailer, and I was like, I don't remember teabagging.
no, just like in my head, I was just like, that'd be funny if that's what was happening to I Am Legend Will Smith. Oh no, they're Fortnite dancing on my body.
Yeah, so that's the thing is that I feel like an adaptation for I Am Legend is the hardest thing to do because it's all book stuff and it's all in his head that you're reading off from. And then you have the fucking vampires taunting him the entire time. And it ends really bleak too. But yeah, I recommend reading that book. It's pretty good. I liked it. But yeah, Undawn, I Am Legend 2. God damn it. uh Yo, you like Madden? You like the NFL?
Yes, slightly. Madden, no. NFL, yes.
Do you like Will Ferrell?
I think he looks good for this role, by the way.
Okay, so yeah, Will Ferrell is going to be is John Madden. So this is the weird thing. Nobody knows whether or not this is going to be like an actual biopic or a comedy biopic. Just like how that.
He's fine with like normal shit, I think. So.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he's trying to do more drama roles.
Well, remember the Everything or something like? What the fuck was the movie he did? He did good in one of them.
I don't know. But no, because the reason why I'm saying comedy role is because of the whole thing with I mean, there've been comedy biopics. You know, you got that Daniel Radcliffe, Al Yankovic movie, which here is actually pretty okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I mean, again, like just it's jokes, whatever.
Yeah.
So it'll be
But yeah, Will Ferrell is to be John Madden.
Yeah. I think either way it goes, it'll be good.
Yeah. Speaking of not good, yo, what you know about that Gollum game?
It looks fucking terrible. Before you sent me this shit, I was looking up man, and it's just like the first image of just his face looks so bad.
Bro, there's such meme content for this fucking thing. It is wild.
Yeah.
I would recommend watching a video by SkillUp on his review on Gollum. It is the craziest shit I've ever seen. And I remember the promotional stuff for this, whereas like they were hinting at this being like an open world or like a trap based game with Gollum, and like this game looks awful.
It does.
And what makes it like even more shitty is that they were charging $60 for this full price, and then you get a fucking collector's edition, which was I think like $70 or $80, and it just comes with emotes and a compendium, and I think the option to change the elves from speaking English to Elvish.
Okay.
And everybody was like, "It's not worth it." Like the emotes were really bad. But yeah, this game is a fucking mess, Gollum. And then on top of that, the developers had to come up with a statement saying that like, I'm sorry for not making players' expectations like met. And then like people were pointing out like the original like trailer of them like Gollum trying to figure out like certain things to say, and then like what was actually like developed and shipped, and it just looks bad because they use like a really bad like font it just looks really bad. That's overall I could say, but I really recommend watching that video from Skill Up. And the other thing is that apparently they're not done with Lord of the Rings. They're actually planning on doing another Lord of the Rings game. I don't know. I don't know what they're planning, but hopefully it doesn't turn out the way as Gollum did. Yeah, you love Lord of the Rings, I know.
Lord of the Rings so much.
Uh, yeah. Do you want to take this one?
So good. I love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Prince of Persia, baby. Are you excited for it?
Yeah, whenever it comes out.
So it got delayed or canceled.
It's got postponed technically.
So postponed. Okay, I didn't know if it's like limbo or like what.
So this is the weird thing. This game was announced like what, like a couple years back. Yeah, and then like even that announcement trailer, a lot of people were like really shitting on it because it looked like kind of an early PS4, late PS3 game. To be fair, even though it was like saying that it's a remake, and it's like, and it was done by a smaller studio that Ubisoft owns, Ubisoft Mumbai.
Yeah.
So obviously because of that backlash, Ubisoft moved it, I think in-house, and now it's still like in the process of being redeveloped.
So something I had read a while ago had said like it looked so fucking bad they were essentially going to scrap it,
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, they moved it to that other thing, the other company or whatever in-house studio, and we're like, yo, you guys got to fix this. Like it's ass, bro. And they know, like, there's no way they got that and was like, this is what we wanted.
Yeah,
No
because
way.
that was the other thing, was that like it's besides Assassin's Creed, like there are avid fans of fucking Prince of Persia. So it's like, to not do it in-house is like one of the weirdest things. Like you would think that they would try to make this game as good as it can be, being like one of the biggest franchises for Ubisoft. But yeah, it's just, I feel kind of bad for Ubisoft Mumbai because like they really wanted to do well, because they are, I want to say, a smaller studio, but they're not like a big ass studio like Ubisoft.
I wouldn't even say it's the studio's fault, because whoever was the director of that and was like, this is what we want done, and then saw it and was, because there's no way it got that far, and they were like, it's okay every time. The director had to have stepped in. He should have stepped in earlier and been like, it's not good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's at all the studio, like little people that are working on it. I think it's overall the the big picture person that's like, essentially, I think like that person was probably looking at it and being like, we'll get money off of this, it's fine,
Yeah, but it didn't go well, obviously, from that trailer, so that's why people started shitting on it. But yeah, basically from Ubisoft's word, there's not going to be anything about it this year. Or no, excuse me. Players shouldn't expect to hear more. Yeah, there's not going to be anything, talks about it for this year. Maybe next year, but who knows? And then their Ubisoft Forward is happening in June on the 12th. So probably they're not going to show anything from that, but they do have their other stuff that they still have coming out. So they're probably going to show more Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Rainbow Six Mobile. Oh my God, Tom Clancy's The Division Resurgence, Skull and Bones, whenever the fuck that's happening, and The Crew. Oh, and X Defiant, and possibly another large game, according to Ubisoft. And everybody forgot, they're doing a Star Wars game, an open world one. So, the world. But yeah, basically Prince of Persia is in development hell technically, and so is Beyond Good and Evil 2. So remember.
And sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
And The Last of Us Part 2 TV show.
Last of Us Season 2 is set for 2025.
25, baby. I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean,
I'm not too worried about it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really like Last of Us 2, so the story specifically.
Yeah, but hopefully, I think what they're looking at doing I think they're looking at kind of like how there was different stories. They're gonna like dive into other people's stories that are along the way, right? So hopefully it's not all just like just heavily filtered in or fuck.
No.
Hopefully it's not heavily
Did they confirm on
placed
that?
in just that that they're gonna do other stories in it.
Yeah.
It's still gonna follow the main story because that's like what it is. But just like in the one that we did, you watch the stuff? This one? Did you watch the first season?
Yes.
So like it didn't just follow exactly everything. It came through and had other people's stories in it that you didn't get to see before inside the game. So they're gonna do the same thing in the second season.
No, I remember that, but they weren't that long though.
What do you mean?
Like some of the other characters, like stories weren't that long. They were like usually like beginner stuff, and then like when they tried to do side character stuff, it wasn't really like I want to say expanded, but like it was relatively short because all your overarching story is still Ellie and Joel.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, there wasn't really. I don't know if they could really do anything off of fucking Last of Us season 2 because of the whole thing with Abby and Ellie. Because that's your whole other B plot is Abby.
Mhm.
And even then, I don't know. Last of Us Part 2 was not my favorite. I didn't really.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be great. It's still gonna follow them.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
It's
I probably.
not very good
I probably.
because you already don't like.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna watch it with my cousin. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll still be like fine.
Mhm.
For sure. It's not gonna be great.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll see in 2025.
Yeah.
Speaking, well, actually, before the Nintendo thing, you know what we won't see in 2025? Speaking of other shit being in development hell,
I mean, I could throw it to you right now if you want.
go ahead.
Dolphins, they're all dead.
Yeah, the Dolphins are dead. So we talked about this in another episode of like Dolphin Emulator was listed on Steam, and everybody was losing their fucking mind because like, how the fuck does that work? Because it's an emulator. On top of that, Nintendo is the most like anti-consumer, anti-emulation company. How the fuck is that going to work? And now we got Nintendo's response. Yeah. So that shit is being postponed, not canceled, postponed. For those that don't know what Dolphin is an emulator for Wii games and GameCube games. And basically, the reason why it's postponed is because Nintendo is like, nah, Steam, you can't do that. Because Steam got a warning from Nintendo.
Steam, no.
Don't.
Nintendo say no.
Yeah, don't put emulation on Steam. So, yep, Dolphin Emulator has been postponed. And yeah, the final thing, speaking of postponing shit, The Last of Us multiplayer has been slowed down, according to Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog put out a statement saying, to The Last of Us fans, we know many of you have been looking forward to hearing more about our Last of Us multiplayer game. We're incredibly proud of the job our studio has done thus far, but as development has continued, we've realized what is best for the game is to give it more time. Our team will continue to work on the project as well as our other games in development, including a brand new single-player experience, The Last of Us Part 3. We look forward to sharing more soon. We're grateful to our fantastic community for your support. Thank you for your passion for our games. It continues to drive us. So, no multiplayer for now. I don't know. I feel like my I wouldn't say I even had hype for the multiplayer. I think it's just like I kind of stopped caring, to be honest. Like I have no strong feelings for the multiplayer of The Last of Us.
A lot of other people like care.
There are people that care.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. What are your opinions on the multiplayer?
The Last of Us 1 was really fun.
Mm-hmm. That I
And
remember.
I didn't sit there and play it for hours, but I played with like friends and stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't think it was anything like amazing.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really have any strong feelings for Last of Us multiplayer. I know a lot of people were really excited for it, like I said,
Yep.
but yeah, I don't know at this point because I'm kind of more interested in their single player game that they're doing, but if it's fucking Last of Us Part 3, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Because I will probably play it and probably complain and bitch and moan, and I am the problem, but still. If it's fucking Jack 4, I'm all in. But who knows? And that's it for the news. We got through it of this week. One little thing I wanted to mention. Apparently, Shin Kamen Rider is coming out to theaters on the 31st of May. So, yeah, tomorrow, technically. I'm debating whether or not to go see it in theaters. But yeah, that's it. We did the news. All right. Goodbye, podcast. We out.
Bye.
Bye.